to A2D Radio, real sports talk radio for the fans, by the fans, no agenda. These guys are the best in the business. Hashtag it. No notes.
She's coming for you, Ralphie. What's up, family? A little late night edition of the PHIX/AM and the PM right here, A2DRadio.com. As you can see, we just found out that we can have more than 6 on a live stream, and here we go. Giddy up time. We got a ton to talk about tonight. Later on in the show, like we always do, it'll be the dumbest thing of the week. Phillies 2020 schedule was released the other day, so we'll give her a little reaction. 60 games, a little more. You can dive a little more into 60 than you would be able to dive into 162, right? So it's a little easier. We'll dive into it. Obviously, a pretty much an all East Coast stretch for the Phils. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about obviously having to go face the AL East, which isn't never a fun gauntlet to do. So we'll dive into all that throughout the show. Top 10 NFL quarterback list. We'll give them out tonight. Obviously, I think anybody with common sense should know who one is at this point. I mean, he just signed a $500 million deal yesterday or 2 days ago. So I think we know who that is. Carson Wentz, Dak Prescott debate is the number one topic at hand tonight, family. We're going to get into it. We're going to attack each other. We're probably going to attack people in the chat. It's going to be exciting. You know, Dak and Carson always bring energy to the table. So we'll get into it. Tom Arnone, Ryan Brodo, Ralph Dellavecchio, Frank Vespe, Brian Wilson, Steppy down there. And listen, a guy you guys see in the chat all the time, Yusuf in the house. What's up, my brother? I'm glad you could jump on with us. I know we talked about it for a little bit, but this is what we want to do. We want to give, we're fans, so we want to give fans a voice. So, reached out. Hey, can I jump on? Giddy up. Let's go. We found out we can have more than 6. Here we are, baby. A ton to talk about every Wednesday night, brought to you by our doc. Make them yours, Dr. Paul Vidal, Specialized Physical Therapy, LLC, Burlington, Cherry Hill, Princeton locations. Find them on the web, specializedphysicaltherapy.com. Our poll question brought to you by Ambuck Services. Listen, all your gutter guards, gutter restoration, deck restoration, I think anything outside of your house restoration, they got you covered. 20% off. Tell them the boys from A2D Radio sent you. Again, 20% off. The giving continues in a time of need and essentially maybe a semi-recession. We're here to give, even though you're getting extra $600 a week. We're still here to give more, so use the $600 a week. Get some of this shit done at your house. 20% off. AmbuckServices.com. Our poll question. Carson Wentz will end up with a better career than Dak Prescott. Agree or disagree? Let us know. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch. That's where you can find us live, and everywhere you get your podcast, you can find us there as well. Like, subscribe, follow, comment. Bring it all to the table. We'll read off as much as we can tonight, like we always do, and we're going to dive right into it. And listen, to me, it all comes down to money situations, right? Guys are paid in the National Football League for one thing on the offensive side of the football more than anything else. Do you find the end zone? Okay? Do you find the end zone? Guys get paid to score touchdowns. Guys in Major League Baseball get paid to drive the ball out of the ballpark, and guys in the National Football League get paid to score touchdowns. That's the money zone. There might not be a better quarterback in football inside the red zone than Carson Wentz. With who? With who? Okay, I'm going to keep asking you. With who? With a bunch of nobodies, essentially. Listen, it's not even a debate. The conversation is always comical to me. I like Dak Prescott. I like some of the things he can do. But in terms of the overall quarterback, it's not close. It's not close. Okay, you can try to sell me on everything else. Dak Prescott has had Ezekiel Elliott and one of the best offensive lines in football since his career started. It makes life a little bit easier, okay? And I said last year, they were rolling essentially offensively, and I felt like if he was healthy, maybe they would have came into the link and beat us. But that wasn't the case, all right? And there's no what-ifs. So at the end of the day, we won a division. But I still think he's a good quarterback. So in no way am I knocking him. I think Carson Wentz is elite. That's the difference. Carson Wentz is elite talent quarterback when he's on the football field. We've seen him. What a great stew, boys. We see it. Am I watching Jordan doc? Because if you didn't, buy a clue, watch it ASAP, because what a great stew. They bring up guys around them. They make guys around them better. I don't care if we play Little Sisters of the Damn Poor last year at the end stretch of our season. You had to win games, right? And he rallied the troops, did enough to win, made big plays. So to me, that's elite. What can this guy do with weapons? We saw it in 2017. We saw it real quick. Hey, you put a couple weapons around him, guy's going to light you up. We saw it. I think we see it again this year with the weapons around him again if he stays on the football field. So as long as Carson Wentz is on the football field, I completely agree to the poll question. I don't think it's ever going to be a conversation if Carson stays healthy. I don't think it's ever a conversation. Ever. Okay, the first play call of his career essentially was a kill. I went 6 to midnight. When his rookie year, he killed something first play. We're like, he killed it. We got our guy. I remember texting Will, that's our guy. Look at the kill. Just knew it, smelled it, and here we go. So, boys, family out there, let us know. Carson Wentz wound up with a better career than Dak Prescott. Agree or disagree? You heard my stance on it. It's going to continue. You're not going to sway me. This isn't an agree or disagree thing. This is an agree. And the only people that are going to disagree are Wentz haters and Cowboys blowers. Time's yours, boys.
Go ahead, Ralph.
I agree with the poll. All right.
Thanks, Ralph. Riveting.
Yeah. Carson Wentz is going to have a better career than Dak Prescott. He's way better. He's just like Tommy said, he's elite. And listen, at the end of his contract, Carson might get $600 million. So you never know. But yeah, I agree to the poll. To what he did last year with the slop at the end of the year, with the 5 games left or 4 games left in the season, was unbelievable. And we sat here after those games and we said, what other quarterback in the league could do what he did last year? And we couldn't even think of more than 4, right? So to what Dak has in Dallas. And his weapons to only go 8-8. Ain't looking too good for Dakota. And listen, Patty Mahomes got signed. 2 days ago. So it's getting a little chippy down there in the Big D. So it might be time for the Cowboys to start looking for a new quarterback here, boys.
Gavin, real quick until we move on, and you're right because they're going to have to overpay him. He set the bar.
Absolutely.
Set the bar for every other quarterback.
And Dak wanted that the $35 to $40 million range, and Mahomes said, "Well, I'll get 45 here. I'll take the 45."
Gavin says only 2 interceptions in the red zone in his first 4 years in the league. That's crazy. That's why he's elite, baby. That's why we're going to yell and scream. Listen, I already know, and then we'll go back up top to the other boys. But I already know. I'm curious. I think I know what this guy's going to say, and usually he's on with me Sunday, so I'm curious in what he says here. Wills, agree or disagree?
No, I agree. I think it's closer than you two are making it out to be right now, though. Talking about that, it's a huge margin. I think that Dak is a very good player. I think maybe even a little underrated player. He's really evolved with his throwing. Threw the ball very well down the field last year. But he has had more weapons, and he has not gotten to the playoffs as much as Carson. Granted, Carson hasn't played in the playoffs. But I think that Carson's a better player. I think he's a prototypical QB. He's a better athlete. He's better in the pocket and out of the pocket. I think that Carson will have a better career, yes. And also, I'm an Eagles fan, so I'm never going to give Dak that much credit. So, but
no,
yeah,
I wasn't trying to shit on him by any stretch. I think there's elite and there's very good, right? So that's a separation.
I would put him in the top 12 quarterbacks in the league, though, 12 to 15.
Yeah.
I think Carson's in the top, 6 to 8.
That's the difference.
Five to
that's
8,
the elite. That's the elite zone compared to very good zone, right? And that's the only thing I'm trying to say tonight is that Carson Wentz on the football field is elite. Dak Prescott, he's not elite to me. He's very good. He's good, not elite. Elite's what you did down the stretch last year. I'll continue to say it. That's what elite guys do. Ryan, agree or disagree to the poll?
Oh, I absolutely agree. I disagree with any of the people that are going to come out. And honestly, the reason why we put this poll in here was just to expose the people in the chat that honestly want to try and make an argument that they do disagree with the poll. Because I think where a lot of people miss this argument and where they get lost is it's okay to say, like we've just illustrated so far, it's okay to say that they're both very good. Like I feel like a lot of people, whether they're Cowboys fans or either Eagles fans, they have to say one's great and one's trash, or one's trash and one's great. It's fine to say that they're both very good, but Carson's just better. He just is. And on top of everything you guys said, and I know everyone likes to go back. They say, oh, Eagles fans always like to go back. But, I mean, it's the truth. when you look at this past season, you saw how much better Carson made very, very limited type players, and no disrespect to Greg Ward, Boston Scott, friggin' Burnett, so many other guys. They're just guys. And they made them out to be actual. I mean, they won 4 games to end up making the playoffs. They had their backs against the wall once again, and Carson Wentz led them to the playoffs with nothing, with very, very little. So to me, the only way somebody can disagree to the poll and not be just a complete moron is their reasoning would have to be, well, I don't believe Carson's going to stay healthy, that he's going to have an Andrew Luck type of career where he has a very early exit. I'm not there yet.
Case for Dak Prescott now. I mean, your shoulder injury that really affected how you threw the football last year doesn't make me feel good about you in the future either. Right? We're talking about the shoulder. If I can't throw it, and I got a shoulder injury, I'm not saying it's going to linger. I'm just making the point that, like, that's the injury. That's what happens in this league. So, the one who's going to have the better career is the one who stays on the field longer, right? And the one who wins more playoff games. Because that's what at the end of the day, that's what decides it. If Dak has playoff wins right now, then we're maybe saying he's better than him, right? But he doesn't. And Carson essentially does have playoff wins because he's got a team. He got himself a team. His team.
He doesn't have playoff wins.
Well, hold on. He got himself his football team.
Stop.
A home field bye, right? So they got a bye and then home field, correct? So that bye's like a dub, is it not?
No,
is it not semi like a dub?
No, it's not a
dub. Oh, it's semi like a dub. It's semi-dubbish.
I see what you're trying to do here, and that's not correct.
It is correct. It's absolutely correct. It's semi-dubbish. When you get your team a bye, you did your work. I gave you a freebie, boys. The rest is on you now. I'm going to run with that. So
I knew you would.
Just continue to sell it to the people. Selling a tank off a car lot over here, and it feels good. Frank, agree or disagree?
For me, I absolutely agree with the poll that Carson is going to have the better career than Dak. I mean, Dak is a very good quarterback, but he is not an elite quarterback. I know when we get to our rankings later, I do have Dak maybe somewhere outside the top 10, but, Dak has had a significant advantage. He has the better running back. He has better receivers. But Carson, he turned something from nothing. We take a look at last year. He turned a bunch of guys that basically had no pictures in the most recent Madden and led them to a playoff berth. So with that, I mean, I remember our first show after we drafted Carson. I know it was like me, Ryan, and Noah. We were talking about Carson, and there was something about Carson that, he makes everybody else around him better, and it really shows the past couple seasons. You take a look at the 2017 MVP season. He made everybody better. So for that, Carson's going to have the better career. He's going to have the higher ceiling than Dak will be. And when it comes to the money, Dak's not Mahomes' money. I'm sorry. He's nowhere close.
Frank, Dak's going to tie them up and not allow them to do some of the other things they need to do to continue to make their football team good. And that could be the problem.
They should have signed them already.
Yeah, because when you're very good and not elite and you get overpaid at the quarterback position, you better hope you turn yourself into elite real quick, baby. So, Greg, Yusuf, agree or disagree? Boys, go ahead.
For me, I agree. I agree. I think Ralph pointed it out. If you look at what Carson and Dak did without weapons, Dak in 2017 had Zeke suspended for 6 games. He struggled. You know what I mean? Like they went 0-3 to start, and then he won the final 3 games without Zeke, but they didn't make the playoffs. You look at what Carson did. He didn't have any receivers. He literally didn't have any receivers, and he still managed to win those final 4 games and lead the Eagles to the playoffs. And, Carson, I think he's a top 5 quarterback, and I'm a Redskins fan for people who don't know. I think he's a top 5 quarterback. Dak's probably top. Dak's probably top 15 in my opinion. Carson can do more. He has better arm talent. The only thing Dak really has on him is he's just more mobile, and he has more weapons around him, really. So, I mean, I agree to the poll, and I don't really think it's too close, but Carson will have the better career.
Yusuf, you said one thing wrong there, and everything else was great. And I think it was the very start of what you said. The only thing you said wrong, and you gave Ralph credit. So, but besides that, spot on, brother. Spot on. Everything. I mean, you almost lost me with the Ralph credit. And I let it go, and you totally redeemed yourself. But besides that, I digress, Ralph. Sorry.
Listen, I'm a fan favorite. There's nothing wrong with that.
Go ahead, Greg.
Somebody had the controls to his mic. I also agree, but I like Wilson. I think it's a little closer than kind of, we've given it. If you look back at that draft, when they traded up to 2, just because of kind of where Carson came from and the somewhat of known of the 1AA program, when they moved up to 2, that's the Jalen Ramsey draft. That was Joey Bosa right there. I was actually on board because of where Dak was drafted in the 3rd round. He wasn't a first-round pick. He wasn't a number 2 overall pick. I would have almost, not that I'm going to take Carson back, but at the time, I almost probably would have preferred Bosa or Ramsey and then, been able to get Dak in the 3rd round just because I thought the value was there. Obviously, it played out the way it did, and yes, I think Carson is more talented than Dak, and has more just pure quarterback ability than Dak. But that's not a slight on Dak because I also don't think the true comparison is fair because of where they were all both drafted. I think if the Cowboys sit there with a 3rd round pick and Dak, I think they're ecstatic versus the LA Rams and the number 1 overall pick in Jared Goff. And realizing that small hands isn't the guy.
Yeah, but I don't think it's fair to put when you like at this point, Greg. I don't think it's fair to put draft status into who's better or not being a fair comparison. Like at the end of the day, after you're drafted after a year or 2, that shit goes out the window. Can you play or not? So I mean, now we're comparing. Sure. That's just it's a cop out of you. That's all. You're better.
I still agreed.
No, you
agreed. It's not like
you almost made a case that you would have rather had A, B, C, and D and Dak than Carson. Now, don't act like people didn't hear it. It came through. I heard it loud and clear in here. I just let you continue. Full screen game.
You wouldn't have either. You were screaming for Ramsey too.
That's a lot of dollar menu items, Ralphie. A lot of dollar menu items.
I was screaming for Tunsil too, and the gas mask. So don't tell me what a good time here. I mean, but guess what? We went up and Howie,
he found his. He
didn't
miss, and that's absolutely the way you do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I just don't care where Dak went at this point. Like, so you can't make Brady one of the greatest of all times and can't compare him to Montana or whatever because he went so late. No, I mean the comparison holds true. He's the best quarterback of all time. You know what I mean? So it doesn't change where you're drafted. He's not better because he was drafted late. If he was drafted number 1 overall, he's still just as great. You know what I mean? There's a lore about it, obviously, where you're like, man, that's cool, like to be able to do that, and it's always talked about. No question about it. But I can't. When I compare guys, I'm just comparing. We're comparing talent, and I think everybody said it that they don't. Nobody's slighting Dak, but if one of the two are going to have a better career and be elite, you think it's Carson, right? Like the bull he threw in Washington last year. Guys don't make them throws, man. Guys don't make them kind of throws. And that's what we started to see, right? I think we started to see, and we watch guys around him rally with him and him become the leader of that offense. I think it was so important to this football team and so important to his confidence. It just sucks he went out that way with the concussion, but it's you saw it. And I think you're bringing in more young talent and you already got that culture that this is my guy. And I think, Howie Roseman did a bad job of going and drafting another quarterback in the 2nd round that makes you question some shit. But at the end of the day, I think everybody straight face says, this is our guy. I mean, I don't even know why Hurts is here. So.
Spot on.
And we got a ton of questions coming in. Rasul Douglas, what are we talking about? Rasul Douglas stinks. Please keep him out of the questions altogether. I don't want what Bulldog was ever brought up. He's not getting traded for anybody. He'll get cut. That's how it goes when you're not good enough.
But Tom, what about his workout in the empty field? Oh my God.
Everybody works out. Corey Clement looks good running up a freaking flight of stairs. I don't give a rat's ass. They all look great in shorts and a tee. That's why people drool the nerds over the combine. That's why it's a freaking, how much can I lick your sweaty sack today is what it comes down to. That's why I can't watch it. I tune it out. What are you doing on the football field? What are you doing on the football field? I'm not reading that one. Carson is the guy, but if he has another season-ending injury, I guess, or just injury again, then yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just
he
don't
hasn't really missed that many games. He's just missed important games. If you look at it, he really hasn't missed that many games in 4 years.
Only 8.
Yeah,
but he's missed
his entire career.
He's missed all the playoff games.
Yeah, that's true. And Dak did win a playoff game. I apologize for that earlier. He did win it.
He won one, and he was a fourth-round pick, not a third. But
yeah,
well, it's all semantics now. You know what I mean? Yeah, Sean, I seen it. Okay, and let me just tell you this, Sean. All right, about Harper yelled after Real Muto hit a bomb. He hit a bomb off Cole Irvin. Can we shut up? Like I love that Harper wants to get his voice.
We can't even have anything nice anymore. It's like we're happy baseball's back. He hits a home run, and Harper's got his back. We can't be happy about it.
You guys can be happy about it, but this we know he's the best catcher in baseball, but hitting a 2-run homer off Cole Irvin doesn't solidify the signing. Like he should be signed regardless. Cole Irvin stinks. Shouldn't be on the 60-man roster. Can we all buy a grip here? He hit it off a single-A pitcher, in my opinion. Well, being triple-A just because that's how it goes, but when there is one again. So, I mean, listen, it's great. I love that he's getting his boys back. He's being a leader, trying to get his boy paid. Probably wants to take poker money from him late at night on road trips. I get it. So, I have no problem. I love it. But I just can we just say, it's every day. It's every day. It's a jersey. It wears on me and he's a Philly. It wears on me and he's a Philly. I can't. We'll talk about the Phillies later on. It just wears on me. I can't. It's me. I feel like even though you're saying you want Real Muto, you're still saying, hey, it's me. It's not me. I just can never get rid of it. Yusuf, are you a Nationals fan too? Okay. So now I got to ask you. This was your guy. This was your boy. It's the guy from day one was in your organization, and he leaves. You win, but go rewind for us. How you felt about him before he left?
I thought he was a great athlete, but when I saw Juan Soto just kind of during spring training and all of that, I thought it would be okay for him to leave and just Soto come in because he showed so much potential. And Bryce was asking for a lot. To be honest, I was kind of fine with him leaving to Philadelphia, and winning the World Series was great. But I'm happy he's in Philly. Happy for him.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy he's here too. But it just becomes a love affair. And
oh yeah.
Is he a top 10 player of baseball? No. So I mean. What's the slow down? When he, I love him. He's my guy, but it wears thin on me. The me. I just feel like it. Every pose, his jersey,
You don't love him.
Maybe I don't, bro.
Never have.
Maybe because I see through things. I see through the beautiful hair. Okay,
that's what it is.
I see through the drawing fans.
That you never liked him. That's what it is. I mean,
it's hard to just switch. Okay, I told you if you ever claim him on, I'll be the first one to tell him. And watching, I hated him, and it's been hard. Do you understand what I'm going through, Bryce? I love you now, but there's still a part of me they hated you forever. It's hard to just flip the switch. You guys are frauds, like Ralphie. Ralphie just flipped the switch. He's a fraud. Okay,
I liked him when he was in Washington. So
because you're a fraud to begin with. That's why, because you're a love affair.
You can go back and check tape, and I told you we were going to sign him years ago.
You're the show pony guy.
Should have latched on then.
You've always been a big show pony guy. You try to act like you're not, but a big fan of the show pony. The helmet coming off, rounding first.
No. I'm a fan of the talent.
I'll agree with you on one thing. When he was here, it was all about him, and I think that's why Martinez said we don't need you anymore. You can go ahead.
Got him. Well, for the family just joining us, we're going to talk more Phillies later on the show, but our poll question, Carson Wentz will end up with a better career than Dak Prescott. Agree or disagree? Chime in. Let us know. Tell us why. and let's continue the conversation. Quentin like the show pony for Wilson. Big fan of
the couple show ponies.
So you're not okay with Bryce Harper wearing a real Muto jersey around the ballpark?
Am I okay with it? Yeah.
It's 10:58 p.m. on the East Coast. It's July 8th, and the best catcher in baseball is still not signed.
Well, he is signed.
No.
You don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Yeah, but he's not extended, but he's signed.
He's not.
He is signed. He's not extended.
No.
He's there because he's signed right now, Ralph.
Okay,
he wouldn't be there if he wasn't signed.
He's not extended. Sorry, he's not extended.
He already said it once.
Ralph. Ralph, I would assume that they're going to fucking sign the guy. Like, I love me some Bryce Harper. You don't need to keep telling everybody to sign him. We know that he's the best catcher in baseball. We're not fucking
Should have been done already.
Well, that's not. When are you going to cry over it?
We don't need Harper every day saying it. We got it the first 3 times.
It's because maybe Bryce is a little nervous that if we come out and we don't play well, they trade him. Because that could happen.
Solo Sports says Wentz going to have
I don't want it to happen, but it could.
When it's all over.
Out and don't play well, you get a lot for JT.
Oh, yeah, Solo Sports. Wentz going to have a couple of rings when it's over. I mean, we would love to see that. I mean, that'd be
fucking hope so. At least I hope one. I'll settle for one. Would love to.
We'll take one.
Yeah, I'll take one. I'm not greedy. Just one.
Where did Jamal Crawford sign that? Did he sign somewhere?
The Nets.
And they just signed Michael Beasley.
That's cute.
It's because Dinwiddie's not playing.
Their whole team's not playing.
Yeah, Kyrie Irving's not playing.
And Taurean Prince now.
Well, I think Dinwiddie tested positive a second time, right? I think.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, they just ruled him out. They were like, we're not even going to chance it.
Jamal Crawford's 40.
Yeah.
Nets look good. They're going to be doing.
He still gets buckets, though. Still gets buckets, though.
He can shoot. He can shoot.
Instant offense.
No, he's absolutely instant offense, but he's old. I mean,
he's old.
We're going to go in with what we have, Sixers wise, and you got to hope we get it done. You know what I mean? It's that simple. We're going to go in with what we got.
I don't know that the Sixers fucked up by not signing a 40-year-old.
No, I agree.
I don't know that he's going to see time on our team. I'm talking about the guy that said that on the bottom there.
Yeah.
Didn't catch the name, but Palatero. Yeah, I don't know about that, buddy. I don't even see where would he play? Like, where in the rotation is he getting minutes?
The bench.
That's what I want to know.
That's where he plays. The bench.
Is he? I'm saying he wouldn't even come off the bench. I don't think.
No, I agree with you. I
don't know where he fits. You know what I mean? Like in terms of like we got.
Because Alex Burks to me fills that role better, and he's younger and more athletic.
Agreed.
At this point.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed. And guys, anything Philly sports wise, chime in. Don't be shy. Ted Perkins, Dak has a real coach now. I mean, does he? I mean,
got Jerry pulling
it's a better upgrade than the clapper.
So got Jerry up there pulling the strings.
Is it a better upgrade than really what he had though? I mean, Mike McCarthy had one of the.
No, it is. Yes.
No, it is to a point. But Mike McCarthy had one of the most ridiculous quarterbacks of all time. Like, you know what I mean? Just somebody that's that ridiculously special in Aaron Rodgers that can do everything. Definitely helps your coaching career, right? I mean, a little bit, right? So, I mean, we got to factor that in a tad, but I still think he's a smart offensive guy. But I didn't think Jason Garrett was an idiot offensive guy. They kept the same offensive coordinator. They had no issue scoring points last year, people. They had no issue scoring. It's coming down. They just couldn't win games. So is that all Jason Garrett? Maybe. I just think that locker room isn't a great locker room at the end of the day. I think there's a lot of me guys in that locker room. And that's why they continue to fall up short. It's not a talent thing in Dallas. Sure as hell isn't a talent thing in Dallas. But when you have a lot of me guys, and now your quarterback's not signed yet, according to Ralph, he's not signed because, he signed this year, but going on, he's not signed. So we're going to run with that. So you got a quarterback not signed, and essentially long term, that doesn't bring in with everything else going on in the world. That's not a big enough distraction coming into camp. You guys think they're going to win football games next year with all that distraction? You know how the media is. That's a question asked every single day. Every day. And then you got to go try to play football. All right. Okay. If you say so. it's in their best interest. They should have got it done before Mahomes, and now they really put themselves behind the eight ball, big time.
I totally agree there. Like, I mean, he's gonna get overpaid now for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Just count it.
Yeah, and I'm not crowning Jason Garrett, by the way, guys. I'm just saying, Mike McCarthy, granted, got a ring, but having Aaron Rodgers is fun too.
I think people are believing that like them adding Mike McCarthy is like them adding Bill Belichick. It's like it's not the same freaking thing. Like I understand Jason Garrett absolutely sucked, but Mike McCarthy, I mean, there's a reason why he was fired and didn't get picked up the next year. And I don't want to hear, oh, he decided to take the year off. If somebody's giving him a contract, he's not going to say no, unless it's the Browns, of course.
Who are the me guys in Dallas? I mean, where do you want me to start? Amari Cooper, we can start there. You want to start about Ezekiel Elliott a little bit? We could go there. Dak seems to be a little me-ish when you talk about his contract, right? I want mine. Right? Okay. Sounds a little me-ish. DeMarcus Lawrence, not a little me-ish. Do I need to continue on a roster I give a lot of credit to continuously? But don't tell me there ain't no me guys on that damn roster. Because you don't listen to enough interviews and you don't follow along enough, Dak. Follow along. It's me city. It's me city over there. Why? Why does so much talent not win? You can put it all on Jason Garrett. You can put it all on Jerry Jones. At the end of the day, players play, babe. Players play. So when there's a little bit of a divide in the locker room, even a tad, it comes on the football field. Late in games. Crunch time. They were great offensively last year. How were they only 9-7? Or 8-8, whatever the hell they were. How's that possible? Right? You know what I'm saying? All that down on defense. How are you guys average and lose to us with everything that we went through, right? So you tell me there's no me city there? Okay. All right. It's fun.
Do you guys think Dak is going to get extended before the season? Or do you think he's going to play on
they have until what, July 15th, right? For some contract?
I don't see it, to be honest.
No.
If I'm Dallas, I'm going to try to because I feel like you want to get this behind you, just get it over with. But I don't think it's going to happen because I just don't think Dak's going to agree to one.
I agree. I think they're
especially now.
You just hate to see it.
I think they're going to have to overpay to get that deal done.
And you know what this situation makes look even better? It makes the Carson Wentz contract look even better.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
Because you got the deal done early. We said that. Said that as soon as that deal came out, that's a great deal because you got it done early. But then you go out and draft the quarterback in the second round, so you get a little confused about the deal a tad. But it doesn't matter now. You know what I mean? But still, he signed early. You got him for a discount in a way because once Mahomes sets the market, everything else flies from there.
This is a great question, actually. Does Lamar Jackson get an extension before Dak?
No, because
he'll get one next year.
Yeah.
So will Dak if it's not with Dallas.
Yeah, Dak. It's going to be the same time, probably. I would say around the same time, but maybe by a couple, a week or two.
Couple weeks, month, maybe. Who knows? But yeah, I mean, I think they both get locked up next year because I don't think Dallas
and they're both going to get overpaid now as well.
And because Dallas has a tough decision to make, guys. I mean, think about it. I mean, you used to use a first-round pick on a wide receiver. You got Amari Cooper locked up for a while. You got Ezekiel Elliott locked up for a while. I mean, you got a lot of decisions. Do you have the money to be able to pay him what he's asking for too?
And meanwhile, they're trying to get Jamal Adams over there and still find a way to pay him.
Yeah, I just don't see how it's possible. This isn't Jerry Jones.
Possible.
It's not. But again, talking about before, not only them waiting on this quarterback contract is screwed them up quarterback-wise, but it screwed them up all over the place.
No, it could because then, when who's the kid linebacker, the white kid? I'm drawing a blank.
Oh,
Van Der Esch.
Yeah, like when Van Der Esch comes up on his deal, you got to pay a guy like that.
Yep.
I mean, there's already guys paid.
He's
like
a stud too. He's stud.
Yeah, like Lawrence, I think is locked up. I think they gave Lawrence a bunch of money. If I'm right,
I think Tank is. Tank's locked up.
Smith is locked up as well for like 5 more years.
I mean, where's it coming from? I mean, part of it, I don't know if Dallas has the money to give him what he's asking for. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do. And
they
go ahead, Greg.
No, I was going to say they kind of backed themselves in the corner too, to where they almost have to because, you signed Andy Dalton for a cheap deal, but he's not the long-term answer, right? Obviously.
Let's calm down.
No. But
so not you. I'm saying to people.
Yeah. So it's not like they drafted. It's not like they have a guy behind Andy Dalton that's a legit potentially next guy up type of person, right? So they either they're going to suck so bad or trade up and draft one of these guys this year, Justin Fields, Chase, or Trevor Lawrence, or they have to overpay Dak because what are you going to do? Not have a quarterback?
Yeah, and Deshaun Watson
They're going to overpay Dak.
Is coming up after this year as well.
You got a lot of guys coming up. So, I mean, it's not just a couple. And when that's why it was so important that these other players from Mahomes to set the market, right? That's why it's so important. That's why a lot of these guys, if they're smart, they wait. They let the big dog create the market for you. Now you're walking into $300 million deals. You understand what I'm saying? And you're just walking into it. Hey, $300 million. And then he sets the bar incentives. He sets the bar. You know what I'm saying? So it's not only smart for Mahomes to cash in ASAP on it, okay? But it also is great for these other guys. I mean, they fall in love with it, not the opposite way. They're not upset by it. They're like, okay, now I'm going to get more money. If it ain't from you, I'm going to get it somewhere. So at the end of the day, Dak Prescott's getting paid big-time money from somebody if it's not the Dallas Cowboys. I just don't see how Jerry Jones allows him to walk out his door because them guys don't come around all the time, man. I know I'm not putting them in my top 10 when we get to the list, et cetera. But guys of that talent that he does have, big, strong, athletic, can make every throw essentially. You know what I mean? Like, they don't come around all the time. I think he's a competitive son of a bitch. I have no issues with him there. I'm just being real on Dak Prescott on what I see, right? Do I have a problem with the guy wanting to get paid? No, because everybody wants to get paid in 2020. So I don't even care about that anymore, really. But I think he's competitive. I think he cares. I think he's a good leader. But, at the end of the day, that money ties you up. I think he can end up somewhere else. I just don't know how they let him do it, how they allow it to happen. I really don't, guys. I don't know how they let it happen or how they sign him. It's like a combo. They always might have to deal. It's crazy. Like, if I'm Dallas and I feel like I can't sign him, I got to deal him right now. Deal right now. Yeah. And whatever you get back's a win then. Because if you can't sign him and you let him walk, you look like a bunch of idiots.
I'm almost trying to think of the teams that would be in the market for something like that. We saw so
15,
much. We saw
15 teams in the league. 15 teams in the league would be in the market for him.
The Raiders could be in the market for a quarterback.
Raiders, Titans.
Jacksonville.
The Titans they just extended Tannehill.
Yeah, they extended Tannehill.
Yeah, but it's really only a 2-year deal. You know what I mean? So you're not locked into them.
I'm just saying.
They extended Tannehill because they don't have Dak Prescott on the roster.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I said. There's 15. Wherever you have Dak.
Chicago, Indy.
I didn't think about Chicago. Yeah.
And then there's some teams on the hook, right? And you have some teams where you're like, all right, we got to see what this guy does.
And not to be better, but if you look at a team like Detroit, Matt Stafford's 32, 33. I like Stafford a lot. But if Detroit's, maybe trying to get younger, maybe gets the right deal for, Stafford,
Yeah, Quentin says Chargers, Raiders, Colts. Pronger's best friend, Jags. I can't go with the Browns yet. I gotta wait to see. He's got to get another year to see, and then we can have that conversation fair, right? You know what I mean?
And with Quinn, with
Patriots
discussion with the Chargers, I mean, we got to see what Justin Herbert can do. I mean, if Herbert doesn't pan out well in LA, then maybe it could be an option to get Dak Prescott. But I want to see what he can do what Herbert can do in LA for considering Dak.
Yeah, and that's a 3-year, and that's a 3-year wait, though. You know what I mean, Frank? Too, like to your point,
that's true.
I got to give this guy I drafted in the first round. I got to give him 3-4 years at least. I mean, shit, I gave Ryan Leaf that long. How am I going to get Justin Herbert that long? Who I like Herbert a lot, but that one's not. I'm on. That one doesn't.
Yeah, he might not even play this year, so you might not even see him for a year. He'll probably play a little bit, but if you never know, if Tyrod plays well, which I mean they do have weapons.
James has hit the nail on the head, in my opinion. Yeah, I mean, like I know they got Cam Newton this year, and that's all well and good, and you might have a resurgence, good for him. But James says, imagine Dak in New England. Yep. I mean, okay,
yeah.
So, I mean, there's people, there's teams out there that will be like, we're interested. I mean, shit, I'll say right now, if Jared Goff stinks this year, the Rams might be interested in you.
Yeah.
We're number one pick. If he ain't good enough and struggle.
There's a couple out there like that, though, Tom. You could say the same thing about the Jets.
Yeah,
Darnold. Yeah. Same thing about Darnold if he doesn't play well.
Yeah.
And I like Sam's talent, but Sam hasn't put it together.
And you also got to look Youssef and his whatever his team's called down there right now.
Yeah.
But like,
well, Haskins has another 2 though.
I agree, but
for sure.
I would normally agree. But with a new head coach, does he truly, is he going to give Haskins that true 2-3 year window? Because you're absolutely right, Normally, you're right. Spend a first round pick on a guy. He gets 3, maybe 4 years to see what he has. But Ron Rivera with as the new head coach, Dak kind of has some similarities to Cam. You know what I mean? Not as athletic, but some similarities to Cam of extending plays, being able to move a little bit outside the pocket. He might be down for that.
What about the 49ers?
Yeah. I mean, I saw somebody write that in a second ago. James Young said the same thing. Jimmy G. Yeah.
So Jimmy G's their guy, but he's got an injury history though, so he's always pretty close to not being there.
Jimmy Pornstar.
Quinn says Haskins might be a bust. He might, but this is like this could be a make or break it year for what Ron Rivera sees in him too. You know what I mean? So we got to factor that in the equation. I don't think they're in the mix for Dak because I just don't know how Dallas would even allow that to happen.
Yeah, right.
Without getting their head back in, without getting their pen back in the mix, right? Like I just don't see how they let that happen. But
there's no fucking way they
outside of the division. I mean, it's up for grabs. Like we're putting a team that went to the Super Bowl last year in the conversation because there's not that many damn good quarterbacks in this league. There's not, and guys who are durable like Dak's been up until last year. Injury-wise, like he's been a pretty durable guy. So then guys don't come around at the 3rd ranked offense in football last year, I believe. I mean,
no, they were number 1.
They were number 1 when he was playing. They were number 1 when he played.
Yeah, pure stats-wise, you know what I mean?
Yeah, Yardage-wise. Not like touchdowns.
I thought they fell to like 3. I thought they fell to like 3 in total.
They may have at the end, but when he was playing, they were 1. I'm pretty sure
they were. Yeah, like I'm thinking the first 10 weeks of the year they were 1 easy. Because they were rolling offensively.
Yeah, they were averaging like 28 a game or something. They're playing well.
Because the first 8 weeks of the year, remember, boys, I mean, they were lighting lamps. Or at least the first 5 weeks. I mean, they were lighting people up.
Yeah, they were typical Dallas is what they were.
Carolina could be a team.
Their first 3 games for Dallas was cakewalks. Was straight cakewalks.
Yeah, people got to light it up, though.
Don't say that,
Yusef, I thought about
the 4 games.
Come on, man.
Oh, I just thought of a team.
I thought about Carolina, but they just signed Bridgewater to 3 years. So I actually thought about it. So I looked up his contract.
Another injury guy though was Teddy.
That's true.
I just looked up the stats. Dallas was the number 1 offense in football last year.
Cool.
400. Yeah.
Makes the point even more valid than even 3. You know what I mean? Like I'm glad I'm wrong because that just makes it even more valid. Like this isn't a joke of a quarterback. Like he hits the market. Everybody's there might be 20 teams in the running for him, honestly. Mm-hmm. And you factor a team that's on right now too. You know what I mean? I mean, there could be 20 teams that say, "Oh, well, these kind of guys don't fall off trees often." Almost like left tackles don't hit the market often. It's the same type of thing.
Yeah, I think
Tampa Bay could be
the Saints. The Saints.
I was thinking about that too.
Tampa Bay. They both could be.
Yep. Yeah. Tampa. You guys are right. Palatera, I don't believe in Buffalo yet.
No.
I gotta get Allen.
No, absolutely.
Allen more run. I mean, the guy went to the playoffs.
They like Allen. Yeah, they like.
Yeah, I like.
And they like him too.
Yeah,
they like him
too.
Tough-nosed
dude.
Yeah.
Not sure how great of a thrower he ever is going to be though, but he's a tough nosed dude, and he's got a nose for the end zone. Runs hard. I like me some Josh Allen.
What's up,
I think we can all. I think we can all agree if we. Go ahead, Tom. What?
No, I just wanted to read off his quote. Mike DeAndrea, what's up, brother? He's the number 1 offense and went 8-8, and that sort of stems back to what we feel is a little bit of a me-ish locker room, a little bit. So go ahead.
I think if we had to come with like a consensus top 3 of the teams, in the next calendar year, we're not saying right now because I know people are saying like, oh, well, Drew Brees is in New Orleans. We're not talking about right now. We're talking about the next calendar year, and Drew Brees is probably going to retire this year. I would say the 3 teams that make the most sense, and tell me if I'm wrong here, probably the Saints, the Pats, and the Raiders.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Rams.
Maybe maybe Colts.
Throw the Steelers in there too.
Steelers. The list goes on, boys. You know what I mean? The list really goes on. I mean, this is a guy when we do our list in a minute. Even if you have him at 12, that's a lot of teams left. There's a lot of quarterbacks left. So
20, there's 20 others.
Yeah, so when a top 12 to I mean, I don't even have him 15. I think he's better than that. So I mean, like when a top 12 guy hits the market and he's young, coming up on his first time hitting the market, them guys get paid if they even hit the market. That's my favorite one. The Colts is my favorite one, honestly. Young defense, offensive-minded head coach. I mean, that would be sort of what Frank Reich would need, in my opinion.
Yep.
Good offensive line.
Very good.
Yeah.
Line.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good running game too. Good
And they also have good receivers. T.Y. Hilton. They also drafted Pittman, right?
Yeah.
And
They have my boy Jack Doyle at tight end. So I think they're pretty set on offense.
You talk about every level, right? Every level of a football team, pretty good, in a pretty good spot is the Indianapolis Colts outside of the quarterback position.
They're like Dallas light, to be honest. If you look up and down, you know what I'm saying. If you look at Dak Prescott, it would actually help him to go to Indianapolis because it's the same kind of mold of success. Good running game, solid wide receivers, good tight end, solid offensive line, solid defense, offensive-minded head coach.
Maybe a better defense down the road too. You know what I mean? As this thing moves forward a little bit, maybe even a better one.
True.
Going back to Greg's point about Haskins, I think Rivera already has a plan in case he doesn't work out after bringing in Kyle Allen. Because Kyle Allen, he didn't play that bad in Carolina for an undrafted free agent. He didn't play that bad, and he knows the system really well too. So I think he has it figured out. If Haskins doesn't work this year, all right, we're going to move on to Kyle Allen, and
That's a good point.
That makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. But still, on that, you'd probably rather have Dak though than Kyle Allen going long term.
For sure.
Well, Yusuf, I mean, let's one up it. You sure as hell you don't. You're going to sit. No Washington fan is going to sit here straight face and say, oh, "I hope Kyle Allen plays too." Like you guys want Dwayne Haskins.
Yeah.
That's. I think. I hated Dwayne early on. I didn't think he was going to do it, but sometimes a new coach, a veteran coach, a guy who's been through it can help a kid grow up. I just think he has some more growing up to do. The raw skills are there, the talent's there, the arm strength's there. It's here, right? And it all comes up to here with kids. And does Ron Rivera help him grow, which I think he can do. And I think he can be successful because they do have the defensive pieces to keep you in football games and give you chances to win. So. I think he could have a semi-successful year, because it looked like he threw the ball well down the stretch last year, boys,
Yeah, he improved really well without many pieces. He had Terry and he had AP on the offensive side. And to be honest, I think he's set up for success. He's cut down probably about 20 pounds. He's much lighter now, and he has a system that fits. And on the defensive side, my boy Chase Young will be ready for Andre Dillard week 1. I'm be really excited for that.
Let's pump the brakes on that.
I can't wait until week 1. I hope football. I can't wait. I can't wait.
Hey, don't forget about Montez Sweat on the other side. Got a double duo.
Lane will shut him down.
They flip a lot though. They can flip a lot too.
Listen, Dillard's got the left side for the next 15 years, so they ain't nothing to worry about.
Here we go again.
Well, let's not start talking up there, Ralph. All right. I can already see it right now. Chase Young, 4 sacks in his debut. Fucking Christ.
Ralphie, you have a list of all the NFL current quarterbacks ready to go, so we can go.
Yeah, so we're gonna go do by divisions. You said, right?
Yeah, we'll just go 1v1. So for the fam at home, how we're gonna do this? We're gonna do it version Carson, and we're gonna do it version Prescott. You have a list. I like this.
Look at you.
CBS.
Very good. Our friends at CBS, huh?
Yeah.
The good old iNetwork.
So what we're going to do, fam, we're going to go one by one, and we're going to talk about who we'd rather have in comparison to Carson for the next. Do you guys want to do the next 5 years, 10 years, or do you want to do like career?
5 years. I don't think
Let's do 5. Let's not get water with 10. Yeah, 5 is.
All right, Ralphie. I understand, Ralphie. I got you, brother. And what we'll do is everybody, because Ralphie, we have past experience. Everyone keep a tally of your own list, okay, Ralphie? So don't be asking me, hey, what's my score?
I've made my list right here.
So you have notes. Very good, Frank.
Are you doing it twice?
Just where I have Dak and Carson.
And what we're gonna do is us doing this is going to determine where we have Carson ranked in the league and Dak ranked in the league, because we're going to see how many more quarterbacks we'd rather have than both of them. So fam at home, obviously, when we're going through this, chime in on who you'd rather have. So Ralphie, whenever you're ready, sir, whenever you.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and do the AFC East. First quarterback, Buffalo Bills, Josh Allen. Carson Wentz or Josh Allen?
Wentz.
Wentz.
And I like Allen, but Wentz.
Wait, who said Allen?
No, I'm busting balls. Are we allowed to bust balls?
No.
Didn't know.
No, you can't. You can't.
Yeah.
Next quarterback from the Dolphins, Tua. Not going to pronounce his last name.
Tua
Tagovailoa.
Wentz.
Wentz.
All right.
Wentz. No question there.
Wentz.
I'm glad.
Right.
I was waiting to see if somebody got cute there.
I like Tua
They
a
would have been
little
booted
bit.
from the
I don't hate Tua. I will say I don't hate Tua. I don't like his injury concern, but I don't hate Tua.
All right. Next up from the Jets, Sam Darnold.
Wentz. Hands down.
I mean, I think this should be pretty easy. This entire division.
Yeah, and Patriots
You can literally put Wentz and Dak in front of all four on the entire division.
I agree. Yep.
I agree as well.
I agree as well.
Dak, after the AFC East, Dak at 4, Carson at 4. All right.
Very good.
Next is the AFC West. Broncos, Drew Lock.
Wentz.
Both.
Wentz.
And Dak.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd rather have Dak.
Locke could have a sneaky breakout year this year. I like what John Elway did over there. Got him a lot of weapons, and I already like Cortland Sutton, and I like Noah Fant a little bit, and obviously Melvin Gordon's an upgrade. So we'll see. I mean, he's in a good position. Locke is for sure.
They also have a great mind, and Pat Shurmur too, running the offense. So.
True.
And he's in a spot where he's better than a head coach.
Yep.
I mean, right now, just because the body of work's there for Dak, but I agree. I think if we did this a year later, my position might be Locke over Dak, but definitely Wentz. Of course.
There's only one guy in that division that I would take over the two of them, and that's Mahomes. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's an obvious one for me. Mahomes over both Wentz and Dak. For me.
Yeah, I ain't wasting my time on bullshit names. You know, that whole division besides Mahomes. I'm taking Wentz and Dak.
I might upset a couple people here.
What?
Not you people. If Cowboy fans are listening, which we hope they are, we like our roaches too. But if they are, I might take Goff over Dak. I might.
Wrong division.
Yeah, wrong division.
Where are we at? AFC West. Okay, sorry.
AFC.
That's still not even.
Sorry. They used to be in the AFC West years ago.
Way back.
Way back.
We're going to be beyond your time, family. You're in this time machine.
So only Mahomes then. Yeah.
Yeah, only Mahomes. That's division, Ralph. Let's speed it up here, babe. You know what I mean? We waste our time on bullshit names.
Are we doing the NFC East too, or no? We're skipping that.
Well, we know that answer. We're taking both of them two over the other two. So there you go.
Yeah.
There's one.
Correct.
I'm here to help you. I'll walk you all through it.
And I don't dislike Daniel Jones. I think he could be okay, but I like Wentz and Dak more.
Yeah, absolutely. For the next 5 years, I'm putting my money in them. The only one that has us beat right now is Mahomes. Right this second. It's going to get interesting now. I mean, this is when you're going to get a little spice.
All right, AFC South. Philip Rivers.
Wentz and Dak.
Yeah.
Wentz and Dak,
Yeah.
All right. Next up, Garner Minshew, Jaguars.
¿Por qué no las dos?
All right. Next up, we got Deshaun Watson of the Texans.
I have Wentz over Watson, but Watson over Dak.
I have Deshaun.
Yes.
I have Deshaun over both of them.
Yeah,
Deshaun
I don't.
over both of them.
Yeah.
I have Wentz over Deshaun and Deshaun over Dak.
I have Wentz and Deshaun. I'm sorry, I have Wentz and Dak over Deshaun.
Yeah, I have Wentz over Deshaun over Dak on this one.
I got both over. I got Watson over both.
Then the last one, Titans, Ryan Tannehill.
Both of
Wentz
us.
and Dak both over.
Both over
Correct.
Tannehill.
Yes.
All right.
Anyone want to get cute? Anyone want to take Tannehill? Anybody?
Tannehill?
Next one up. The NFC
Not hard to
North.
hand the ball to Derrick Henry, and not tough.
We got Chicago Bears, Mitchell Trubisky.
Wait, did we do the AFC North?
No.
Not yet.
I think he's
Not
hopping
yet, but-
back and forth. That's how I got
Oh, we
confused before, I
hopping
think.
now. Oh.
So Mitchell Trubisky.
Both.
Dak and
Both.
Carson.
Both.
I'll take my shoe over that. I'll take my right shoe.
I'll take Nick Foles over Mitch Trubisky.
So
Lions.
the Bears might too.
They will.
Lions, Matt Stafford.
I got Wentz over Stafford, but Stafford over Dak.
Oh, for the next 5 years, though, I'm taking both over Stafford.
Yeah, me too.
Same.
I'm with you, Tom. If you ask me for this year, I might go
yeah.
Stafford over Dak. I probably would agree with Frank. for
Yeah,
this
I did
season.
mine as of 2020. But for the
right.
next 5 years, it'll definitely be Dak over Stafford.
Definitely. It's next 5, both over. But yeah, I agree. 1 to 2 years, I'm going Stafford over Dak.
Next up, Packers, Aaron Rodgers.
I take Rodgers over both.
Ooh.
Same.
As of this year,
Still.
I have Rodgers over both.
So I agree.
All right.
Yeah.
And then last but not least, Vikings, Kirk Cousins.
I
Both.
have them both over Cousins.
Both
Yes,
over Cousins.
Me too.
Yeah. Both over Cousins.
I have Wentz over Cousins over Dak on this one.
Ooh.
Oh, give your little boy.
I like Kirk a little bit too, though.
He can't get rid of Kirk.
I like Kirk a little bit. You like that? I do like that a little bit, but I'd say I think Dak is above him, though. Yeah.
All right, AFC North. Here you go, Frank. You ready?
Yes.
Bengals, Joe Burrow.
Both over Joe.
Mm.
Oh,
Am I gonna get cute here?
It
I like
kind of
Joe
depends. It depends how he plays in that system, because he was so he played really well under Joe Brady. So I don't know how he kind of adjusts to Zach Taylor's offense. So for now, I'm gonna take both over Burrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm doing both. You got to go both.
Yeah.
Joe Burrow's a rookie. Come on, man.
I got both.
I gotta see it right.
I don't factor in rookies.
I have to see him how he plays.
I mean, I saw how he played in college. Yeah, I'm gonna take Burrow over Dak.
Yeah,
I'll take Wentz over. I'll take Wentz over Burrow.
In college. How did Tim Tebow do in college? And stunk in the pros.
Don't
Tim
compare.
Tebow didn't throw the ball in college like Joe Burrow did. Ralph, did you
Ralph,
watch
because Ralph-
Tim Tebow in college because he ran the fuck over people,
Tebow was great
which he
in
would have done
college.
in the NFL
Stunk
too.
in the pros. Oh
Dude,
my
he
God,
was
Joe Burrow.
Shut up! He was doing jump passes down in the goal line. You think that translates to the next level, Peter Pan? Okay, that's kid shit. That's kid shit. That ain't pro football shit. Wake the hell up! You would compare a pocket passer to a guy who freaking ran around with a Bible in his hand. Grow up!
Come on.
Real quick, Ralph. When he did
Yeah, I mean, just
start,
making
I'm
a point.
pretty sure he went to the playoffs and won a playoff game.
And
Pretty
got dunked.
sure.
And got dunked.
Pretty sure, though. Pretty sure.
He did.
Still pretty sure.
Dunked the
I like
following year.
winners. I like winners, Ralph. I'll never hate on Tim Tebow, okay? He's part Jesus. Don't fucking hate on Tebow.
Ralph, because of your words, I'm taking, just based off of principle, I'm taking Burrow over Dak.
There you go. Right ahead.
You guys straight face are doing that. I don't know how straight face you're taking a guy
I don't know either.
who played in the NFL yet. You haven't even seen it. And you're saying the
Well,
number
it's
one
the next 5
offensive
years,
football.
though. It's in the next
Yeah, if
5
I'm
years.
starting an
Okay,
organization
what's
for
that,
5
40? Did I miss something?
I'm taking a chance here.
When did Dak turn into
I'm taking a chance.
Like we just talked about, Dak has had a perfect situation.
I think that Burrow's going to be good.
Dak has had an awesome situation. He's going 8-8.
Okay, so that's all on him now.
I think Burrow's going to be
It's
good.
a
Hold on. Let's play it both ways. If Carson went 8-8, and they were number one offensive football, right? We'd be making a million excuses about something else, right? So let's not have it both ways here, family. We can't be like, well, they go 8-8. The number one offensive football. That's credit to him too, right? We can't just continue like the chop a treat out here to make a point.
What is your argument right now?
Yeah, all
What's his argument? His argument
But
is
what are you saying right now?
I'm
Okay,
saying
I got you on that. But I'm saying,
try listening.
I
Open
think
your
Dak
ears
is
and
like
listen.
12 to 15 quarterback in the league. I think Joe Burrow has a chance to be better in that next 5 years.
I'm saying that he said all they do is go 8-8, and my point to that was when you have the number one offense in football like you did last year. Okay, us as Eagles fans, if Carson did that and we came up short and went 8-8, the excuses and everything else would be about the defense.
We would be crushing the defense. Yes,
yeah, because you have number one offensive football, so that's not fair to say. He did his job. He did his job up until he got banged up and hurt.
I think it's skewed because it's all-purpose yards, and they were all in garbage time. We were talking about
and
that
your job is to win games, so he didn't.
Yeah, it shows that the number one offensive football doesn't equate to wins.
I'm not saying that, but we can't you guys are crowning then and assuming that Joe Burrow is a stud. Okay, he had one good year of college football, boys. Let's pump our brakes here. Let's slow it down a little bit. Where's the track record? Where's the track record of success? 1 year dictates. Oh, we got it.
I like the kid. I have 110 and 19. It's not like
I want to take Burrow over him right now. There's a lot of young quarterbacks I would, and they're coming up, but not him. I just can't. I'm not.
I like him.
Way too early.
Well, once we get to your son Baker, then we'll have this discussion again. It's fine. Let's continue.
The next player for the Browns, Baker Mayfield.
Wow, Ralph, what a great segue. And I have both over Baker.
I have both over Baker.
Both over Baker. Where's the argument?
Oh my gosh, you should be tarred and feathered.
How should I be tarred and feathered right now?
Fucking son Baker.
Because right now,
have you run him out the house too? Have you run Baker out the family?
No. But you want me to have an agenda? Or you want me to be honest? Because you all can laugh and act like the dude's funny down there.
So
because you want me to have an agenda, Wills? Because I like a guy. Because then that's not how we do it here.
I'm not saying you should have an agenda. If you really like Baker Mayfield, then he's going to be better than Dak in the next 5 years.
You gonna let me finish? I'll go circle back and run tape on you blowing Darnold, and you just came down here and crushed.
I do like Darnold.
But you took Dak over him.
Darnold.
You took Dak over him, correct?
I know, but
I should shut up. Conversation over.
Yeah, but Darnold hasn't really played. At least Baker's been on the field.
Hasn't really played. What are you talking about?
He's been hurt a lot.
Oh my God, that's even worse then.
I agree. That's why I didn't take him.
Okay, he's been on the field. What do you want me to do? You want me, like I said, you want me to say because I love Baker that I'll take him over the next 5 years? Not after last year. That was a train wreck. I got to see it again. Just like I wouldn't take Burrow. That would be unfair of me to do it that way too. He's got to prove himself again. Not that Dak's like this proven great quarterback, but he's very good. So he's going to beat some of these guys out that maybe had a down year, etc.
Just to clarify, I would take Dak over Burrow right now, like for this season. But for 5 years, I just think Burrow's going to be a very good quarterback. That's all.
Yeah.
The only way I take Burrow over Dak is if he has Joe Brady as his head coach in the next couple of years.
Yeah, I need to see him. I need to see him come to this level and do it.
He's not. Which he's not. He's in what, Carolina?
Yeah. I mean, unless he just shines in Carolina and Bengals need a new head coach. I mean, could be a possibility, but
well, we know their track record with head coaches. If you have the proper blackmail material, you can stay there for your entire career.
Yeah. You don't even have to win a playoff game.
Yeah. Yep.
Ain't that the truth?
All right, next quarterback, Ravens, Lamar Jackson.
I have both over. I have Lamar Jackson over both.
Ooh.
Yeah, I don't.
I have Carson
over
Lamar. I have Carson over Lamar. Lamar over Dak.
Yeah, same with Ralphie. Carson over Lamar and Lamar over
Not sold
Dak.
on Lamar yet. Sorry.
The only
you see these flash in the pan guys that have one great year, and then there's been a lot of them. RG3 is to me.
Both over them.
So I'm taking both over Lamar.
I am too. I need more, man. You run around, that's cute. Okay, how long can you do? You can do that for another 5 years? Without breaking down? Okay.
No.
I just don't do that. I don't fall. You got to have some. You got to do it again and again and again if you're going to be that kind of guy. I think Lamar. There's no question in Lamar's talent.
Talent's there, yeah.
There's no question in any of that. But when you're one look guy in this league, you can get figured out quick. All right, and that's all my point is. They're loaded over there and they're built to win. And early exit last year doesn't look good, right?
At home again.
So, I got to see him. I know people are going to say Jackson over both, and I hear you. But, I mean, wow, you're just really not putting any bit of track record in. It's just, boom, MVP, he's the best. You know what I mean? Like, I don't, not saying you can't have him over Dak, but with Wentz, come on, man. Wentz is the better quarterback.
I need my QB to be able to make big throws in clutch time, and I don't know that I trust Lamar to do that right now. That's just where I'm at.
And that's fair. Absolutely. I have Wentz over Lamar and Lamar over Dak.
Yeah, that's the way I have it as well, too, Craig.
I'm just also for Lamar.
Tommy, to your point, though, he hasn't been injured yet, so I'll buy into that for the next couple of years. You know what I mean? Yeah. Until he comes into that injury, where we all kind of understand and realize that once you get that one nick, you're done. Like they start to pile up. So until he gets that, I'll buy into him. And in today's NFL, where they kind of allow a guy like that to flourish with the quarterback rules and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. No, you're right. I mean, that's a fair assessment. The guy hasn't been banged up yet, so until he is, like I said, anybody takes Lamar over both of them. I don't have a problem with it. That's not going to get me up. You know what I mean?
I'm not. By the way, I saw the question that was down there. I'm not hating on Lamar. I can, with the best rushing attack in the league, I can do a play action seam pass to anyone as well. We all can. So, and a lot of his touchdowns last year were that exact play. So, I mean, I didn't be able to throw 15-yard outs. I didn't be able to hit a guy in the post on a post route in the clutch time. I just don't think he's there yet. That's all. He could be. I mean, if he continues to improve as a pocket passer, then he could be better than both. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. But right now, I mean, he's got more work to do from the pocket.
Absolutely.
Before I polish him off like them two are from the pocket. I mean, even Dak worked on being a better pocket guy. You know what I'm saying? So, until Lamar puts that together, that full arsenal, and obviously stays on the field a couple of years, that whole conversation changes.
Yeah,
Carson goes down, that conversation changes. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's one nick away from it collapsing, and I've experienced that with RG3. Just one nick, and he was done. So.
And RG3 had the same kind. I mean, RG3 was arguably the MVP the first year. He was incredible, and then it shattered quickly. And that happens when you run around a lot. You just put yourself in harm's way against these guys. They're big, they're mean, and they want to hurt you. I mean, that's just the way it is.
Yeah, their agenda isn't pretty.
No, it ain't.
All right, what else we got? What's the next?
Last quarterback is Ben Roethlisberger. I guess so. Everybody has Ben Roethlisberger. Everybody is over Ben Roethlisberger.
I have both over Ben.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Next division is going to be the NFC West. We're going to start with the 49ers and Jimmy G.
Both.
All right. Next.
Sorry, Kevin.
Cardinals, Kyler Murray.
Wentz over Kyler. Kyler over Dak.
I'm going both.
I have both over Kyler.
Wentz over Kyler. Kyler over Dak.
There you go, Yusuf. There you go, Yusuf.
I think another guy that has to prove it again. I mean, I love Kyler Murray. This is nothing against Kyler Murray. I mean, these are two big, strong quarterbacks, and the other guy's 5'9". So I mean, he's got to stay upright, which he did. And I just can't take him over 1 year. I mean, I love the talent, I love the skill set. He can
make some weapons too.
Yeah, he can make every throw for a little dude. So and I love them former baseball players at the quarterback position, them smaller guys, because they can make every throw. But again, these are two big, strong, athletic guys. Right now, I would be forced to take both of them right this second. That doesn't mean I don't love that kid and think he has a huge upside moving forward too.
If we ask this question next year, because he's in place to possibly have an extremely good year this year with the Cardinals, this could completely change if we ask this question next year. If he has a really good year, like it could be him over both, possibly.
Well, I mean, we've talked about this. We've talked about this before, to where we now have a track record in the NFL the last 3 years where second-year quarterback has popped. It was Carson, then it was Mahomes, then it was Lamar. You're looking around the league, it's either going to be Kyler, who I think it's going to be. For all the Giants fans, Jones or Drew Lock. And while I think, like we talked about before, Drew Lock has weapons.
I think it might be Lock. But
really?
I like Lock. I like Lock.
I think it could be Locke and Murray. I think they're both in really good spots with people around them. You know what I mean? Yusuf, like you said, you got Pat Shurmur there in Denver, all those weapons. We obviously know we got, Cliffy Kingsbury and that bachelor pad and that Texas Tech offense for Kyler with, one of the GOATs of all time and then a baby GOAT of all time too.
The reason I would say Locke over Kyler though is I feel like the AFC West is easier of a division. You take out the Chiefs. I just think that the Raiders and the Chargers aren't going to be very good this year, and I think that the NFC West is a very tough division.
It is.
Yeah, you're not wrong there.
True. That's a good point.
Next quarterback, Jared Goff from the Rams.
Both.
Ooh. I'm not doing
I like Goff more than other people like Goff. I'll start by saying that. But I'll take both over Goff.
Or was it Dak? Who's the
Close,
one you're giving?
Yeah, Dak's close to me. Dak and Goff are close to me.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I'm giving the nod to Dak.
All right. Next one's Russell Wilson from the Seahawks.
Wilson over both.
I got Wilson over both.
Wilson over both.
Agreed.
Yep.
He's my favorite QB in the league at the moment.
Yeah, there's only one guy in the league I would take over Wilson, and that's Patrick Mahomes.
Mm-hmm.
I might take Wilson over Mahomes for the next 5, to be honest with you. I might. I don't know. I just think that Russell Wilson's awesome. I really do.
Yeah,
I
dude.
think he's evolved into the best quarterback in the league. Which
Doesn't ever get hurt either.
Mahomes is probably, he's definitely more athletic and more arm talent for sure. But I just love me some Russell Wilson. Big fan. Fucking winner. Guy's a winner.
Yeah.
Should have 2 rings.
Next and last division, NFC South. We're going to start with the Buccaneers and Tom Brady.
Both.
1 year, I'd take Brady over Dak, though.
It's 5. It's 5.
When I did my thing, I did as of this year. I have Brady over both, but for 5 years,
Whoa.
over Brady.
No.
Over Brady.
T, you had Brady over both for 1 year?
For 1 year.
Nah, Frank.
I don't know.
It's tough. For some reason, he's like fucking Gumby. The dude is like made of, I don't even know. He doesn't have any muscle mass to him anymore. Still can fling the football. Doesn't get hurt. It's incredible. I've been waiting for him to fall for 5 years.
Listen, I mean,
he could have 3 more really good years. He could have 3 more really good years. He could.
Yeah, could.
He could.
But as of right now, for this season, I have Brady over both.
Why would you? Can I just ask you why you would want Brady over Wentz for 1 season?
I'll hop in for Frank on this one. You want to know why? Because he has maybe the top 2 receiving tandem in football. He has a great tight end. He has a phenomenal offensive mind and head coach.
No, but
he's in a phenomenally perfect situation. That's all.
But we're starting an organization with him, though. That's my point. We're not talking about.
I'm saying for this year. With Tampa right now, I mean, he's in a good spot.
But if you're
he's got his boy Gronk back. I mean,
but if you're doing a redraft, with all the quarterbacks for 1 season, you guys are taking Brady over Wentz?
I'd put him in the top 8. I'd say. For 1 year. For 1 year.
I don't know.
Listen, I'm not going to disrespect the greatest quarterback of all time.
Yeah, either am I. No.
Not with all that talent. That's not even like if you didn't have talent offensively, like he was running out of in New England, then I'm right with you. But I mean, he got his tight end back. He's got one of the best. He's got
Gronk, Brady, Howard.
But Frank, my point is, I'm not talking about Brady on Tampa. I'm talking about if we're restarting an organization and you don't have.
Of course, I'm going to take Wentz.
That's my question. I'm not talking about Brady with Godwin and all those guys. I'm talking about Brady, the first overall pick. If it's between Carson and Brady, you're taking Brady.
I'm taking Carson over Brady.
That's my question. That's my question.
For 1 year or for 5?
Regardless of roster.
For 1 year for 5, Brodo is the question here.
Yes.
I'm taking Wentz. I'm taking Wentz.
For 1 year, I might take Tom.
For 1 year, it's tough. It's tough not to.
For 1 year, it's
close.
probably tough.
It's close. It's close.
If especially because of the fire I know he's got this year, that he left New England and he wants to prove that it's him and not Belichick. Yeah. Woo! Watch out. I'm just saying, if he don't get hurt, woo, watch out.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I mean, it would be tough for me to not take Brady for 1 year in that situation.
You know he wants to go out and fucking light it up this year. You know that.
And I love Wentz, but I mean, in that situation, that one's tough. Really is.
Imagine if they trade
for 5 years. I would obviously go both of them over Brady.
Correct.
Yeah,
absolutely correct.
Imagine if they trade for Leonard Fournette too. That offense is.
I was gonna say the one thing they actually need is a running back. I do like Ronald Jones a little bit, and I like Ogunbowale. The guy that'll be this guy for him. He always has that little pass catching guy. It became James White. It used to be who's the guy that killed us back in the 2004 Super Bowl? Kevin Falk. Used to be Kevin Falk.
Yeah.
It's had a couple of different guys like that. The guy for them will be I can't even say the dude's name. Ogunbowale, or whatever the fuck his name is.
Dare Ogunbowale?
Good pass catching running back. He could be the pass catching guy for Brady this year.
And you
for
look,
a little fantasy tidbit for you guys out there.
If they don't end up with Fournette or obviously Dalvin Cook, which I would go after, I think there's a chance they end up with Cook. They'll probably end up with the guy who just requested the trade, Mostert, because you're not going to have to give up much for Mostert, and they have money to pay him.
Yeah, I think it's a bad move by Raheem Mostert. I'll be the first one to say that. You've been jumped around the league. You finally get in a spot where you're used correctly on a fucking guy, a great offensive mind, and a great run game with a great O line, and you're going to ask for a trade? What are you doing? What are you doing? If I'm his agent, I'm smacking him in the face. What are you doing?
I think now you know why he's been on all the teams he's been on.
Yeah.
Next up, Matt Ryan.
Both.
All right.
Let's see. As of this year.
No, it's 5 years, Frank. It's 5. Enough
5 years, Frank.
5 years. 5.
How old is he? 34?
Yeah.
He is
34?
Yeah.
I think so. 34.
Let's see. He was drafted in 08.
Both.
5 years for both. But
He's
for
35.
I have for this year alone, I have Wentz over Ryan over Dak, but in 5 years, both over Ryan.
I'll go Wentz and Dak over him. Yeah.
Yes, over the next 5 years, absolutely.
Yeah.
And the next up is Teddy Bridgewater.
Come on.
Both.
And then last is Drew Brees to finish it out.
Both.
Over the next 5 years.
You're asking me for 1 year, I would take Brees over Dak.
Oh, Ralphie, you don't want to do Jameis, Ralphie?
No, I'll pass on that.
Even if there was a hint that Drew would even be back for 2 or potentially 3, even though we all kind of realize he's done after this year, I might take Drew over Dak. But with that knowledge of he's literally only here for a year, I gotta go both.
Whoa.
Has he said that? Greg?
And he said that.
You seem pretty fucking convinced.
Well, he's got the TV contract waiting for him. You know what I mean? I just think he's got one more run left
for whenever, though.
No, it is, but I just think he's got one more run, and I think he's done after this year, truly. It's not definite, though, but that's just my feel.
Okay.
I think the locker room
he could be.
Got him scared a little bit now.
It could be.
Oh, geez.
Would anybody, just to see if anyone's getting cute here, would anybody take Winston over Dak?
No.
Okay, just checking. Very good.
30 picks?
No.
30 picks, Jameis? No.
30 club.
Not even for a quarter.
30 picks, crab legs,
not even for a snap, right? Not even for a snap, nothing.
Very good. I was waiting for, but he can see now, guys. I was waiting for that comment.
I don't know who you think y'all don't hear.
No, in the chat.
Oh, yeah, fair.
No,
I mean, yeah.
He got the LASIK, did he? He got the LASIK?
Yeah.
Watch out. Drew's looking over his shoulder.
Oh, here we go. See, first one. I knew it. But he led the league in passing.
You still threw 30 picks.
You led the league in passing for the other.
You're constantly losing. You have to throw the ball. That's how it works in the league.
He was also Defensive Player of the Year, too, if we're being real.
30-30 club is only good in baseball.
That's not true. Could be good in other things. Not that I don't even know of. It's definitely not good in football as a quarterback. That's for sure.
Somebody wants to know: is it anyone taking Taysom Hill over Dak? I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this.
No, I wouldn't. I fucking love Taysom. My favorite player in the NFL currently is Taysom Hill. I wouldn't take him over Dak at quarterback.
And while we're here, Jalen Hurts
Taysom
over
Hill was
Dak.
helping at
Anybody?
BYU.
No.
No Jalen
So I
Hurts.
want to know where these two fall. Now,
I do not take Jalen Hurts over either one. No.
Very good.
Where do they fall, Ralph? You were marking shit down over there.
Oh well, I had Carson at 26, Dak at 24, which was mine.
And that's guys over them that you would take.
Yes.
That they would.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, flip it then, Ralph. Then he's a what?
So then you had Carson at 6, right? Because there's 32.
20.
So Carson at 6 and Dak at 8.
Yeah.
For the next 5 years, I think that's fair.
Yeah, it's not bad.
You're all right around there. Do you have everybody's numbers there?
No, I do not.
Okay, then what were you
That's great
marking?
work out of you.
I was marking mine.
You should have done majority.
Oh.
So good call.
Maybe next time.
Yeah.
I think I had Wentz 3 because I only took Mahomes and Rodgers over him.
I think I only took Mahomes and Rodgers over him too.
I had Wentz
I had him at
3 and I
5.
had Dak. I think I had Dak at 7.
I think
Yeah,
I'm 5 and 7 or 5 and 8.
Yeah, I have Dak at 9, and I have Carson at 5 because I took the only guys I took over Carson were Rodgers, Watson, Wilson, and Mahomes.
Sorry, I had Wilson over both. I had Wentz 4. I think I had Wentz 4 and Dak 7.
I think I was right with you, well, sir. 4 and 8, something like that. I was
Well,
right.
I had well, yeah, because we both had him over Lamar too. So yeah, I think we might be in the same spot.
Close. I might have him 6, maybe. It just depends. But it was definitely 4 and 7 or 4 and 6. So right where they should be over the next 5.
So for all the people at home, like we alluded to at the very beginning, where they're saying, "Oh, they have to say one sucks or one's great," as we just showed, it's not ridiculous to say Dak's a top 10 comfortably, and Wentz is a top 5. It's not like, as we just saw, and we saw everybody's comments, and 99% of the people agree with us. One's a top 5, one's a top 10, and that's good. That's exactly what we've been
Over the
preaching.
next 5 years.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
it's a fluid situation. You got to remember that because young guys come up and fucking, obviously 2 years ago we wouldn't have said this about Patrick Mahomes. So, it's a fluid situation.
Yeah, TTP, we did have, I know me and Wilson had Rodgers over.
Yeah, I had Rodgers.
I had Rodgers over.
Me
both.
too.
Trevor Lawrence over both. Nope. Got to play in the leg, brother. You can't. How did you just say no over there to this side? Yeah. How did you just say? How the hell did you just say no? You just Burrow. You Burrow.
Burrow had the most dominant performance in the history of college football.
Get the fuck out of here, dude. He's not better than Trevor Lawrence. Would you stop it then?
Okay.
Trevor Lawrence is a better.
Come on. That's a ridiculous
He looks the
statement.
part to be a better NFL player than Burrow. I'll give you that.
Come on. That's
I
not
love
fair.
it. I'd be tempted to say 5 years from next year that I'd take Trevor Lawrence over Dak, but I won't say that.
I'm not going to do that. But in terms of Burrow,
he's got to be healthy coming out of college first. He got another year to play.
you've been trying to lose out for, project losing out for Trevor Lawrence for a few years now. Yeah, so this isn't like listen, with all due respect to Joe Burrow, he went one because he had a monster year. Credit due, okay? Credit due. But again, Lawrence been doing it for a minute. He didn't just
because Tua had a terrible injury.
Yeah, he's more athletic. He's more Mahomes-ish in terms of like his ability to move around and his ability to make every throw and just make plays. Like he's way more even polished than Burrow, in my opinion. Burrow ran out of the shotgun all goddamn year. I don't think you got to understand it one time. So we gotta factor that in to the next level now, where the offense has changed a little bit. I think Burrow will be a good quarterback, but Lawrence way higher ceiling. Way higher ceiling.
And if Tua doesn't get hurt, he goes over Burrow probably.
Yes, they both do. They both were better. Burrow just came on the scene and no shot at the kid. Flat out spun it. So, but I mean, look how many first-round picks, second-round picks came from LSU. So that's all my point is. And not that Clemson doesn't, but you can watch Trevor Lawrence and be like, "Ooh." You watch Joe Burrow and you're like, "Yeah, I think he could be a really good pro," right? I mean, That's the difference of the two, in my opinion. Like, you watch Burrow, you're like, all right, I like him. You know what I mean? But does he have that wow to him? Where you think he changes your franchise? I don't know about that. Sunshine comes in and changes your franchise. He walks in the door, franchise change. That's the difference of the two. The Bengals had to take him. You know what I mean? You're handcuffed. Like, I get it, right? Because the last thing you watch, and not you, but
take Tua.
The general public, right? The last thing you watch is a monster title game, right? And the run they went through. So that's the last thing watched. So that's why he's going to go over a guy. Herbert had a better career than him, if you really think about it.
And he's from the area.
Yeah,
and he's from the area. Yeah. And Tua's hurt. You got to fucking take it. You had to.
You're stuck.
I mean, Trevor Lawrence, was essentially the best quarterback in the last 2 drafts.
Yeah.
But he couldn't be out.
Yep.
If this is like the NBA, he would have been drafted number 1 2 years ago.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely.
And look at Quentin saying, I mean, he's a great, like, that's what I'm trying to say. It's not a shot at Burrow. When that much talent drafted in the 1st and 2nd round, I'm scared to take that guy one.
It's kind of just like, it's almost like going back to the Tebow Florida Gators. Like, that's why Tebow was so great, because those teams were kind of really loaded that it made up, and the system around him, and
because
in the college game,
winner.
Well, no, you're absolutely right, but that's because that team was so good around him, that offensive line, his style of play in college. You know what I mean? I mean, obviously Burrow is better than of a pro quarterback.
They had the Pouncey twins.
Yeah, they had the Pouncey twins.
Yeah, Aaron Hernandez.
You had the murderer. You had Cam Newton as the backup.
You had Riley Cooper.
They were loaded, and just like that,
they had 2 good running backs as well, and Tebow ran all over the fucking place. So,
not that Clemson's not loaded either.
Yeah.
There's no downplaying Clemson here by any stretch, but
they've been loaded for years too. Yeah,
that LSU roster last year was sick, and again, it's not a shot at him. It's just the other guy. Shit. The other guy people are thinking about right now. How do we lose out? How do I go 0-16? That's the goal for all teams this year.
That's why Bill finally signed Cam. It was just like, all right, I still have a good defense. I got to at least put somebody back there. I can't make it so obvious I'm trying to lose for Sunshine here.
Greg, you could play quarterback for Bill Belichick, and they wouldn't go 0-16.
Let's go.
Shut the fuck up with that. That's the dumbest. I hate that shit about, they're trying to lose out for Trevor Lawrence. He could let someone else coach. I'm just saying, he could let someone else coach the team, and they wouldn't have the number 1 pick.
You're right. I was kidding.
I'm not. That wasn't at you directly at you. I've been hearing that from other people.
Yeah,
talking about they're going to be fourth in the AFC East. Are you high? They walk into 8 wins. Easy streak.
If Justin Fields wins the Heisman and national championship, you could make the case to take him over Sunshine in the draft.
If you didn't play at Ohio State, maybe.
Ohio State's track record, you're sitting with one right now.
Yeah, you know I mean, but if you kind of
back to the point earlier, Sunshine's like I said, done it for 3 years or 2 years. He was freshman year, he won it.
I mean, they might see each other in the title game.
Yeah, it might take
There's a
2-8
chance.
for
There's a
that
chance they might see each other in the title game. Good chance, I'd say.
But to your point, it could be the system. If someone, if someone's terrible and wants a more mobile quarterback, and they fall in love with the kid short to the T, then you're not way off. I think Justin Fields is a second quarterback in the draft.
By the way, Trevor Lawrence might be faster than Justin Fields, in case you're wondering, Greg. Trevor Lawrence fucking moves.
No, I know that, but
But what?
Other people might not see it that way.
No, but I mean, Fields is top 5.
Other people don't have eyes.
Yeah, Justin will go top 5 in this year's draft easily.
He also has a more NFL-friendly offense at Ohio State compared to what Lawrence has at Clemson, I'd say.
Yeah, I mean, but the other guy, that makes it even a case for liking the other guy even more.
Yeah, sure.
Because he's not playing in that friendly offense and still puts up the numbers and still looks the part of, hey, that's the best quarterback the last 2 years. It just didn't come out like these guys were saying too.
Yeah. Couldn't come out, yeah.
And I mean, let's be honest, they're both going to have monster years because both programs are absolutely loaded again.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, no, they don't have a problem with talent at those two programs. No talent issues, boys.
I can't even fucking find a quarterback or like a running back at Syracuse in the last decade. Those guys have multiple on each roster. It's it's insane.
Well, who wants to go up to Syracuse to play football?
All right, Craig.
Seriously.
All right, okay. All right, let's calm down.
And here we go.
There we go. It's actually a pretty nice city when it's summertime and not October to fucking May.
Yeah.
When do you play football, Wills?
September and October. for us, it's basically September and October. Usually ends around Halloween. we have more games after that. They just usually don't really matter.
They're not worth it.
Hicksville comes and just takes over. So I mean,
All right, boys. So that's where we have them. I mean, I think we all sort of have them around the same areas. So
Yeah.
it makes the point. I know Rye said it earlier, but it makes the point that people just want to say one shit, whatever the case may be. I mean, it pretty much proves that neither one are shit. So
yeah,
sort of ends that argument, but people will still do it. Maybe a year, Nathan, this year. I don't know.
So what? Phillips, like 38?
75?
38?
62.
Wait, we counting kids or age?
I mean, he's definitely old now.
Yeah.
Phillip Rivers is
Played 4 years.
38.
Well, he's the same age as Eli. They drafted the same year.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he played 4 years at NC State. Did Eli play 4 at Ole Miss?
No.
Yeah.
Did he? I thought he played 3.
I think he might have played 3.
Maybe he did.
But yeah, I mean,
He's
Philip
a
is.
plus
I don't see. Maybe you get 2 if you're Indy. Maybe you hope you get 2. I don't know.
You got to really be praying for 2. But I hear you.
I think that they'll be tough this year.
Eli
though.
played it.
They'll be tough this season though because Phillips is a good player. He's a good competitor.
Quentin, knock it off. All right. I see what you're trying to do. I know what you're doing, Q. All right. I already know what you're trying to do. All right. So, he's trying to get me wound up. It's 12 o'clock. I can't. If he's a top, listen, if they play football this year and he's a top 10 quarterback, Quentin, I will give you my spot on shows for a month.
Wow.
He's top 10 at the end of the
You
next
heard?
year.
I mean, you might as well record that real quick.
Record it all you want. Nobody like top 10 quarterback this year in the NFL. We stop it.
I can just tell you, Cincinnati starts 3-0. Tom's gonna get a little shaky.
I think one of those wins would have to be against us too. I think we play him in the first 3.
Okay,
Yeah.
so 2-1.
He'll throw 4 picks against us. Let's go.
Yeah, I like Burrow. I just don't think he's got an offense around him to be able to put up top 10 numbers in the NFL.
If AJ Green is healthy, I do think that he could have a pretty good year throwing the ball because I like Tyler Boyd as the number 2 receiver.
Yeah.
And I like the other, John Ross? I mean, he showed a little bit last year.
Your offensive line is terrible, by the way.
Yeah,
Horrendous.
they definitely need some O-line help. And I like mixing.
And they
I
drafted
think
T. Higgins.
he's got talent.
Yeah.
And they drafted T. Higgins. So, yeah, I mean.
No, we got
maybe
he could.
He could.
That looked good with Cleveland too. I mean, you know what I mean? That looked good with Cleveland when they couldn't block nobody. The quarterback gets beat up.
Yeah.
He had a terrible year. And a lot of rookie quarterbacks come into that kind of situation, right? Because if you're going 1 overall, the talent on the roster usually isn't there. So in some fashion, right? And theirs just so happens to not be up front on either side of the football anymore. I mean, they used to have a great front. They're old now, not the same. 2 of their better players are a little longer in the tooth.
Oh, yeah, the D-line, you mean? Yeah.
Yeah. So, and even in their offensive line, I mean, shit, you could hold a gun to my head and I might not be able to name a guy on their offensive line. Like, it's not good. It's not in good shape. Hence why Andy Dalton got the shit kicked out of him last year, too. You watch, not that many people watch Bengals game, but any Bengals game you watch, he was on the floor more than he was up. Honestly. Way more than he was up. Got crushed last year. So,
and we also don't.
But go ahead, Greg.
We also don't know if their quarterback or if their coach is any good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's the first coach they've had since Marvin Lewis, and And you're right. They were and once AJ Green went down, to your point, Wills, they were so desolate with talent that, and their offensive line, Tom, as you said, that they couldn't even attempt to even look like an NFL offense. And then we're also putting a lot of stock into AJ Green staying healthy.
Yeah, that's shaky at best, I would say. And to me, Tyler Boyd is a very good 2. He's not a very good 1.
He's not a good 1, yeah.
Yeah, he's when he comes, if he's got to be a 1 and go against number 1 DBs, he doesn't look that good. Against number 2s, he looks pretty good. And to Don, I would say it's not time yet, but I would think that in the next year or 2, they're going to probably draft a young guy to start getting ready.
The clock's ticking for Stafford.
Trying to move on from your coach, though.
Yeah.
Not a Patricia guy, huh?
No, not at all.
Either am I. I think a lot of those guys that come from the Belichick tree, they don't really coach that well.
Some do, Like I like a couple. I like the guy in Miami a little bit. I obviously like.
I do like the guy in Miami. I will say that.
I like Vrabel, obviously. Even if you want to count it as part of the tree, But I like Mike a ton. So I think he created a tough football team. I just think it's almost impossible to win in Detroit. I just think it's impossible to win in Detroit.
I mean, no one's ever done it, so.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's impossible.
I mean, you had
every year. Stafford throws great, you lose. You don't make the playoffs. I mean, every year's the same. Stafford throws 30 TDs, you don't make the playoffs.
And they fucking beat us somehow every fucking time we play them. If they played us more, they'd be incredible.
The funny thing is, if they didn't have Patricia as head coach, and if they weren't Detroit, I might actually think they have a decent chance to win the division. But
they won it,
and they wouldn't because of factor 1 and factor 2. Detroit, Patricia.
I'll tell you what. You could tell me that Detroit wins that division this year, and I'd say I could see it. Minnesota, any one of them. You could say any one of them win the division this year, and I could be like, I could see it because I could.
Except
that
the
division
Bears.
To me is wide open. I think the Bears could win it.
They could. Yeah, they could.
If you want to
2 years
segue
ago,
that
you couldn't score on the Bears. That could happen again. You never know.
Yeah.
If you want to segue that into, a little bit of baseball talk, and where you were just talking about.
Yeah, I might die at some point soon, but let's just if I go, then I go.
I hope you don't die.
I meant my feed.
Oh,
yeah. Thanks.
Personally, I feel great.
Okay, good. Just checking in there. Well, what was your point? Your point of anybody can win the division? Yeah. Well, you segued out to the NL East, right? I mean, outside of the Marlins, but shit, in 60 games, I don't even know. But outside of the Marlins, I mean, that division was wide open in 162. So I think it's even more wide open in only 60. I mean that puts whoever gets hot quick, it can run away with it almost. Not run away with it, but can win the division.
It's really tough. It's going to be really tough because of the fact that for the NL East and the AL East, you play some really tough competition because you're just playing each other, and both are very good division. And we did kind of luck out that the team that we played 6 games against is Toronto, and it doesn't happen to be Tampa, Boston,
the
and
Yankees,
New York, which is good, but it's still not good. We still got to play Tampa, Boston, and New York a bunch, and you got to play our division a bunch, and then a lot of good teams.
The thing that sucks is we only get a chance to play the Orioles 3 times.
Yeah, that does suck. But we only played Boston 3 times, right? And the Yankees 4.
Oh yeah,
4. Yeah.
I'll pull up the schedule in a sec.
Toronto 6. Tampa
part of that
3.
I like is the Yankees are early, right? They're not at the
that's
end.
what I like about
they're not.
it.
You know what I mean?
Series.
So yeah,
Second series, and it's back-to-back home and homes.
Yep.
You could
you
could stumble and then recover. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So
I like it.
Well, so we were talking about Sunday, or the previous Sunday was, obviously all 4 of these teams can win the division when you talk about them, and I think the Phillies have a legit chance to do some damage. I mean, you know what I mean? It just depends. Like, we would have to opt out. You know what I mean? But in terms of their lineup, I think they're going to hit, and they're going to hit a lot. I think we're in really good shape. I think we obviously had the manager that we all wanted here in Philadelphia. I'm excited for them to get back rolling here because, the only question mark is Wheeler, right? I mean, the only question mark is if he's going to play is Wheeler. because we he gives birth right there, like at the exact start of the season. His wife does. So
I would kind of think though that he's in. He just may miss a little bit of time just because he's there working out. You know what I mean? I don't think he'd be.
No, I think he's in. He just might have to sit down. He might have to shut it for 2.
Yeah,
but that's 2 weeks. Yeah. You know what I mean? In 60 games, that's 2 weeks. That's a lot. You know what I mean?
No, you're right.
14 games right there.
That's 2 starts.
That's a 6.
That's 2 starts right there. That's just 2 starts. That's 2 starts for him. Yeah.
It's almost like a football season right now.
Yeah.
Now every game is important.
The scary thing, though, is when you look at like the Nationals with Yusef here, right? You look at the Nationals, and normally teams coming off of, a World Series and their book tours and their celebrations, the beginning portion of their year is usually kind of just like trotting through, quicksand because they're still tired. Well, they lucked out and were able to kind of like rest and regroup and recuperate. So what does that mean for them? Because usually we saw it in 2009. The Phillies started picking up steam in July, June, July. We're able to kind of get past that rough start. Cole Hamels started coming back to being the pitcher he was in that second half of that year in 2009. So it's interesting to see what Washington National teams come out, because they've had the opportunity to recoup and recover from the previous year.
John Lynch's question. First off, love Joe and the Bucks. I am excited about DDM Wheeler.
Ditto.
I guess the reason, because like we were talking last week of like the projected win total, like Vegas has them at 31.5, and I think Greg, you were the only one that had the under on that, but
no, I went back. We went back. Don't forget that.
We that's right.
I'll be honest with you, Greg. I wouldn't be shocked if we went we won 38 to 42 games. I wouldn't be shocked if we won 26 to 28 games, because it's that tough of a schedule and it's that condensed of a schedule.
Well,
are you guys concerned with the bullpen at all?
Yes.
Because that's my biggest thing going into the even if it was
a huge concern.
Even if it was still 162, that was still one of my biggest concerns coming into the year.
And now it's going to be
your arms are limited, right? So Anthony's not in your bullpen anymore, right? Vince is still, even though he should be in the bullpen, he's still in the starting rotation.
I'll tell you what.
Your bullpen on the back end is looking kind of thin.
100%, Ralph. I mean, I think we all agree that that's probably our biggest weakness. And if God forbid Wheeler doesn't pitch,
if Wheeler doesn't pitch, Arrieta's your 2, Wills.
I think Wheeler's going to pitch, but then pitching in general is a weakness if he doesn't pitch.
Yeah.
Now, I will say a couple things that are weird this year than normal that are actually help us is that there's a DH in the NL and we have a surplus of hitters. So Jay Bruce can DH. We have guys that can DH. Yeah. We could maybe get some at bats for some of the young guys DHing. So Bomb for sure. But I just think that the DH is in our favor, and the fact that you have to pitch, relievers have to pitch at least 3 batters now is in our favor, because Harper sees a ton of situational lefties, can't really do that no more, and we don't have any fucking situational lefties, so it doesn't affect us. So that's why I think that the rules actually kind of help us a little bit this year too. So I'm excited. We could come out really good, and obviously funny. We have an upgraded manager, so I'm excited.
We're gonna hit.
We should hit. I mean, we should hit.
Yeah. I forgot we had Bruce. So when they went with the universal DH, I'm like, oh God, no, who's going to DH? You know what I mean? Because we saw it before, like with Howard. Like there's certain guys that like to play the field. It keeps them engaged, and that was kind of Ryan Howard's thing. When we went interleague, and I'm like, oh, we don't really have that guy that can just be that pure DH. And then we're like, oh my gosh, we got Jay Bruce. All right, we're good.
Yeah. That's his role. Hey, gotcha. That's your role, bud. There it is. 4 times a week, you're going to be DHing.
And I like, as I said, I really like our lineup. I like Naris out of the pen. I'm not, in love with other things back there. So that's the big question.
Tommy Hunter's healthy. I like Tommy Hunter sometimes out of the pen. I mean, there's some guys that maybe we could like. It's just we haven't really seen them do anything as a Philly.
Yeah.
Right.
Ted FX says bring Hamels back home. Well, that's not happening.
No. Yeah, I'm looking down like the player pool in And like you're looking at the left-handers, it's bad. I mean, you got Alvarez, you got Clevenger, Cole Irvin, Damon Jones, Lariano, Morgan.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Jojo
Morgan,
Romero.
Adam Morgan is
Morgan are
healthy.
enticing to me.
Yeah, and then the last
Francisco?
guy, who?
I said
Francisco Lariano. Yeah.
Mariano and Morgan are enticing.
And
Liriano
Suarez.
could be our situational lefty now. He could be a guy that comes in to get a lefty out for us. And he's older. He's been there. And Adam Morgan showed a little bit before he got hurt. So maybe he's found his role. Maybe he's found his role.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully,
our good buddy Ranger.
Yep, Ranger Suarez.
Yeah.
he's got the COVID.
Yeah.
Oh, does he? Really?
Yes.
I think so. Don't quote me on that because they didn't say that, but they accidentally told the 4 guys that were immediately put on the injured list after they said 4 guys tested positive for COVID. And Kingery already came out and said that he was one of them, so I would assume it was the other 3 as well.
I'll ask you guys this:
he's on the list.
Each of you guys give me 2 players that are the biggest keys to the season, and just exclude Harper. Exclude Harper and Real Muto.
One is going to be Reese Hoskins for me. Another one. Reese. And you know what? Give me Reese and Segura.
Okay, I like that. Reese is good. To me, it's to me, you win on the mound, then you win up the middle. It's Didi Gregorius and Nola.
To me, it's Noah Wheeler. They're my 1-2 punch. After that, it's question mark city. So if I had more depth in my rotation than I believed in, I wouldn't say 2 pitchers. I believe this lineup's going to hit. I don't have any question marks with this lineup. My question marks is, are we getting a Cy Young type guy in Aaron Nola, and who is Zach Wheeler, right? Is Zach Wheeler going to throw 22 pitch, like have a 10-pitch ritual, or is Brian Price going to eliminate some of them extra nonsense pitches, right? And that's sort of what you hope when he cleans them up a little bit when they get together here. But, they're my 2 biggest needs to be successful if I'm not allowed to pick Harper, because I don't think it's just this guarantee that Harper going to have a monster year. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, he needs to have a monster year. I think it's unfair to give him don't say Harper. He has to rake in 60 games. We gave him all this money. He has to live up to his potential. Because not all the time throughout his career has he. So he's got like Mike Trout, where every year his numbers are what they are.
The only reason why I didn't say Harper or Real Muto, it's the same thing like we were talking about with the Eagles stuff a couple weeks ago, except for the main quote-unquote guys. That's the only reason I said that. Not because they're shooing to have great seasons.
I'm saying this team's not deep enough or good enough to like in this conversation. I know where you're trying to go with it, but exclude their best player and their highest paid player. He's got to hit, or the whole thing's done. If he don't hit, we might as well not even come to the little pre-workouts here if he ain't gonna hit, because we're gonna stink. So that's all my point. He's got to swing it for us.
He's gonna hit.
No, I'm not saying he's not going to, but he can't bat 230, Wells, is my point.
Oh, I agree. Well, I'll tell you one thing, though, is for sure, and I didn't say this guy, and someone else did, I forget who said it, but, Reese had a really good first half last year, and he had possibly maybe one of the worst second halves in the history of the game. So he really needs to show something, because I think he hit 161 in the second half or something like that with 22 RBIs. Yeah, you can't do it. I mean, that's just
goes to Wilson's point. I could be have this team win 40 games, and I could have them win 25. I just don't know. I love the lineup, but again, if certain guys that I need to hit don't, or in my rotation, guys don't pitch up to their level, the whole thing can be messed up. But if everybody plays up to what we think they will under Joe Girardi, right, which they're going to play up to their capability, unlike Kapler, then we would assume all these guys are going to have their career type seasons, right? Which would make this team a playoff team, in my opinion.
Yeah,
that's
it. To that point,
34 wins.
And to that point, Reese is a huge cog in that, because he's such, he's not paid yet, essentially, right? He hasn't had his contract, so it's all right, are we still getting value for the dollar because he is what he was supposed to be, or is he just what he is? And I think he's going to be better this year. I definitely do. My two guys are Arrieta and Eflin. Kind of to your point, Tom. I kind of know we obviously know what Nola is. Even last year, he wasn't at his Cy Young, but he still had moments where he was, our ace.
Yeah,
and Wheeler is his guy, but it's that next tier for me. It's what Arrieta do we get in the third year of his contract, coming off of an injury. Now, granted, just like the Nationals, he's had time, with no stress of playing to kind of work his way back through it. And then do we get the first half Zach Eflin where he's baby baby Nola, or do we get the other side where he struggled every once in a while?
Yeah. How about this name, who's so important that isn't even talked about at all? Andrew McCutchen.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The second he got hurt, the whole thing was done. The whole offense was done. Everything was done. Well, the team didn't look like a baseball team anymore.
He was one of my names. I was going McCutchen and Kingery. Bye, Wills.
See you, Wills.
Yeah, I was going McCutchen and Kingery because on the Kingery thing, and obviously it's tough to say right now because he's going through the stuff with the health, but assuming that he's going to be on the field, when the season starts and everything, he's going to be good to go. You look at it, he has his natural position now. He had that building excuse in the past where he's flip-flopping all over the place. He hasn't been able to focus on his hitting per se. No, I mean, he was given the second base role, which we all hoped and begged for. So you look at that, and then Tom, piggybacking off what you said, for me, it's absolutely McCutchen because you saw what it was when you lost him. I remember people were trying to say, "Oh, it's not that going to be that big of a loss." It's crazy talk. When he, as we saw immediately, when he left, forget about just the field, the locker room, the bullpen, or I'm sorry, the dugout. How much this organization changed. It was like it was a ticking time bomb once he left.
Yeah, I mean, pro hitters at the top of your lineup are pretty important. You know what I mean? And that just goes to show you when you lose a guy like that, the team wasn't deep enough to overcome, key vet losses like that. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. What I do like about this squad, and I liked it even before, especially in spring training, and I like it even more now, is you finally have some guys in your bench that had some pro experience. You know what I mean? You have some depth. You don't have, Sean Rodriguez around, right? We have Logan Forsythe, who's been in the league for a while, Neil Walker, Josh Harrison, guys that you can legitimately plug in. To your point, Ryan, if, say, Kingery's got to miss the first week, I'm perfectly good with either one of those three playing second base for 4 or 5 games. Mm-hmm. Now, granted, I would rather have Kingery there long term and for the whole year, but in a pinch, I'd rather, having Forsythe, Walker, Harrison to move around the diamond and provide some depth. You can probably see Neil Walker at times as a DH or playing first base, so Reese can DH in certain situations.
You have a real manager too, Greg. To your point, and
you're absolutely right. Yeah,
you could get away with Josh Harrison at second base for a week. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like you're going to lose production bat wise. You might lose some field and stuff. But no, I agree with you. They definitely have move around and some good utility pieces.
And something, people, because of the short season, everybody wants to see Alec Baum right away, right? And well, Gene Segura is good. Alec Baum shouldn't see the field this year, except for a couple pinch hit spots. But again, even early on, going back to that same spot, Logan Forsythe can play third base. Josh Harrison can play third base. Yep. So we don't have to rush the kid right now because of the transition that we've seen Gene make in spring training, where it seems to be seamless. And as long as he's healthy, now granted, you're right, major injury goes down and he's out for the year, then you might as well, hey, here you go, take it over. But same thing with the second base.
He lost a lot of weight, he lost a lot of weight.
Yeah, he did.
He gave up drinking, right? He talked about giving up drinking. So contract year.
Idiot.
Yeah, I mean,
no, absolutely.
Greg, the only time you're going to see the kid is designated hitter if Jay Bruce isn't there, and pitch hitting. That's the only time you're ever going to see the kid. Given there's no injury,
and that should be it.
Yeah,
and that should be it.
I mean, listen, I think he gets like 15 at bats this year, maybe 20. You know what I mean? And that's fine. Like it's more than what he would have got sitting at home. He's just more along for the ride. Just because you're going to try to get your best 60 guys on that roster in their opinion, and he's one of their in their opinion top 60 guys, and it's really just to work around big leaguers. I say it all the time. Right? You've heard me say it a million times. Bring the guy up so he can learn from big leaguers. Okay? Where's the better coaching at, you think? The minors or the big leagues? I think
especially now in this situation where there is no minor league, to where you're looking at it, it's either he's going to be along for the ride, getting experience, knowing the day-to-day operations, even though it's a little weird right now, or he's sitting at home on the couch doing shows. You know what I'm saying? He'll hop on with us. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's nothing else for him to do.
We're here. Yusuf, our Washington Nationals resident here. Who are the two big Phillies that you think need to have big years for this team to win a division?
Well, I don't know much about the Phillies roster, to be honest. But one, I'd probably say McCutchen.
Well, you do now. We just said everybody. All you got to do is say your names.
I mean, I don't know. Yeah. I have to come up with someone.
Well, how about this then? How about we do this? I'll curveball you.
All right.
We talk about what two Washington National players need to have big years outside of. We'll leave Soto out because we assume he's going to have a big one. Mm-hmm. Outside of Soto and Scherzer, what two Washington Nationals have big years for them to win a division again and get back to where they want to get back to?
I think it's Kieboom at third base. He's taken over Anthony Rendon, who had a phenomenal year last year and just signed a big deal with the Angels. So I think he's one. And then another one I think is John Ross, to be honest.
Well, he's not playing.
I haven't. Okay. Yeah, I haven't been up to date with the Nazis.
Yeah, he opted out. That's all.
Okay.
Not a big enough name really to catch the news when John Ross opts out. I mean, I think it's their center fielder.
Robles.
I think he needs
Robles.
Robles needs to take that step. I mean, if it's me, it's Robles, and I'll go right with you. I'll go on the mound. Strasburg has to be healthy for 6 months.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? After a lot of wear and tear, the break might have helped the Nationals out, honestly. It actually scares me because I think they were screwed going into this all the wear and tear.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mentioned that earlier. Yeah, it's so true, Tom. So true. It's scary now.
Yeah.
Like, why
I don't think Ryan Zimmerman's not playing either.
No, he's not.
No, I mean, he at this point, that's like Ross and Zimmerman aren't even really big losses to them. Zimmerman more just like clubhouse wise, but talent wise, they still got a ton of talent. You know what I mean? And they're right there too. They're right there. I think we had I can make the argument that we had the best overall lineup in the NL East. So I can make that argument. It's not easy. Make it though.
It makes it easier when Markakis opts out from Atlanta.
Yeah.
Walking 290. I mean, a walking 290.
That helps. My two Nationals are, I agree with you, Robles, and I'm going to stick right up the middle, Trey Turner. I think Trey Turner is an upper echelon shortstop. Does he make that next step to becoming an elite shortstop in the league?
Which I think he has the capability of doing. A guy who got crucified was Rizzo there, their general manager, right? I mean, right, Rizzo, right? Yeah. Rizzo got crucified when Harper walked. All this dude did was put together a hell of a roster and a young one. Now Rendon walks out the door for a lot of money, right? Now what? You know what I mean? Like, who's the next guy up? It just seems like he did a great job retooling this roster throughout them winning too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think for them, they also have to start off really well, because if you look at what they did last year in the first 50 games, they wouldn't have made the playoffs in the 60-game window.
No.
So I mean,
I think they were 19-31.
Yeah,
50
through 50.
Like
So
an opposite for us. I mean, we're like, let's go. We're in the dance until we went to a.
Well, that's what switched me around last week, Tom. Was I went and saw the 60-game split last year, the last 2 years with Numbnuts as their manager, and I'm like, all right, well, Girardi's got to at least give me 2 more wins in a short span. So giddy up, let's go.
Numbnuts.
He's doing a lot of bunt coverages with the DH. So
I know he's at second base. He's going to third.
Like, what's that? That's the game.
That's the amazing thing.
The game changed so much that, like, the last 2 nights of games I've had, right? like where I told my kids, if I give you the bunt, it's the bunt for a hit. Okay? Like right now, we're not sacrificing. I'm not, you know what I mean? And not that I don't sacrifice, because I will. But even when I do, I want kids still trying to bunt for a hit. If they can handle the bat well. Like if I'm going to give you a bunt, I think you probably handle the bat well good enough to at least try one of them to bunt for a hit. And if you don't get that down, then you got to just sacrifice and give yourself up, right? So I look at it like that. The game shifted a little bit. The bunt's still involved. But, honey, the DH just got put involved. The bunt was already moving away from Major League Baseball, even though we don't agree with it anyway, right?
Yeah.
It was already moving away. This guy's doing second and third. He's sprinting from second and third. This guy's a problem. I love the energy, but that's all he has. He's a bunch of energy with nothing, with no substance. There's zero substance besides the oil on him. There's no substance. Clip that shit.
The cocoa oil.
So I would say that, especially, Tom's very positive on the season, but and so many people, people were saying, oh, well, 40-something.
You said that negatively.
No. It's a transition. It's a transition. Listen, you'll see where I'm going. If you think Tom's too positive on it, there's one person that's it just blows it out of the ballpark. Okay.
Oh my God.
And some of the commenters, especially last night on the Birds of a Feather show, they were saying, "Oh, where's Noah been? Where's Noah been?"
Oh boy.
Well, we have the second edition of the Noah Eaton Hotline.
I'm just going to mute and get out of here for a minute.
He called in and he wanted to share his thoughts on he's given his official prediction for the Phillies. So without further ado, here's the second episode of the Noah Eaton Hotline.
Good evening. This is Noah Eaton from the PHIX. Well, folks, I hear birds chirping in the background. It must be spring or July, but regardless, the Phillies season is going to start in 2 weeks. How about that? July 24th, it all kicks off when presumably Aaron Nola will climb the hill for the Phils to take on those pesky Florida Marlins or Miami Marlins or whatever they're called these days. Are they even still playing in South Florida? Well, whatever. Anyway, we're going to kick off this odd 2020 60-game sprint with a 3-game series at Citizens Bank Park in front of, well, no one, as no fans will be invited to spectate due to all COVID and all the concerns that come with it. But, well, what can I say? We have baseball nonetheless, and with Aaron Nola at the top of our rotation, I would say we stand a fighting chance. So let me be the first to tell you, or the last, that for giggles, the 2020 World Series, yes, I said the 2020 World Series will consist of the Phils and those Tampa Bay Rays. How about a rematch of the 2008 World Series from, I can't believe I'm saying this, 12 years ago. So, why not? So, you can't count us out. I mean, with Nola at the top of the rotation, you have Hoskins and Harper in your lineup, and a 60-game sprint. You know what? I like our chances. Well, Scott Kingery, get well, sir. Hopefully he can recover from the COVID real quickly here. And we hope to look forward to a splendid 2020 season because, let's face it, all we got is hope.
I miss that guy.
Did he take that on his flip phone? Did he call in on a flip phone?
No.
I don't know.
He's got a new phone now.
And it doesn't flip.
And it doesn't flip.
I'm sure it's flipped.
So you heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. The World Series is going to be the Phils versus the Rays.
But did he call for a rain delay in that World Series rematch?
I don't know, Frank. I don't really know what he said.
When I uploaded, I just wanted to be surprised, so I didn't even watch it as I received it and uploaded it.
That was a personal choice.
Hey, surprises are good.
I like the enthusiasm. I'll take it if it happens.
There you go. Don says the Noah hotline is definitely on a payphone. Wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. John Lynch giving applause. Perfect way to follow that up. The dumbest thing of the week. Anybody? Dumbest thing of the week. Ralphie. You
Don't have one.
Oh, shocker.
Greg, I'll go to you.
Everything Ralph said tonight.
There you go. Great one, Greg.
Yeah, I to be honest with you, I really don't have.
It's
I don't
okay,
have
Greg.
one right now. Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry, I failed you.
It's all right. I don't have one either. So
Deshaun Jackson. I don't care what everybody says. That's it. I don't even get too deep in it. But if you post anything related, I think you should buy a clue or two. But I mean, that's just me. Double standard talk. That's fine. If that's the world we want to live in. Because everybody that's listening to HUD Radio knows my fucking stance on everything that's happened throughout this that transpired here. So I'm almost essentially allowed to flip it and say, whoa. We can't attack this guy though. Why does Deshaun Jackson get a free pass? Because he apologizes? That doesn't fly, man. Everybody apologizes after the fact. Drew Brees apologized after the fact. I mean, nobody flip-flop more than Drew Brees. His apology was such a flip-flop, it wasn't even close. Come on. So, I mean, we can't take the apology for anything. The apology is an apology. It's a PR. That's why they pay big money for PR people, baby. That's why they do it. Okay? Yo, you shouldn't have said that. We'll get you something written tomorrow. Don't worry about it. We got to take care of it. Right? People are going to love you still. Don't worry about it. Okay, and the people that rally to his defense when y'all act like this guy's the definition of a guy who's just always done it the right way through his career. I mean, can we be real? Do you really know why the real reason he was cut the first time here or traded or whatever the hell it was to Washington? You don't know why? Because he was tied to gang affiliations. That news came out and Jeffrey Lurie cut him. Now it's just associates supposedly, but as a big business owner, Jeffrey Lurie maybe rushed to judgment. I don't know. I don't know all the facts, right? But that's why he wasn't here anymore, guys. Okay, we brought him back. I love him too. He's my guy. But you can't say that. You can't post that. Okay? There's okay things and not okay things. So your people tell you missed this point. He didn't have a point. The point is that guy don't get brought up. Anything that guy says is never valid. Wrong? I mean, when did he become valid? Come on. There's a lot of guys you could post. There's a lot of great guys. How about the doctor? Right? Mr. Martin Luther King. A lot of great things you can post from Martin. Do I need to go on? Malcolm X. A lot of things you can probably post from Malcolm X. Correct? There's a lot of good things you can post. You know what I mean? That nobody's going to jump up in the air. We've all rallied around Black Lives Matter, have we not? Here at A2D, at least. I'm not saying the country, but here at A2D. So, you can't have it both ways. We can't attack Drew Brees for having an opinion. And then, which was just an opinion. Right? That's just an opinion. That's just his belief. That's your belief. It's a free country. You're allowed to have it. He gets crushed by NFL players, too. By his own teammates. Okay? Fair. Fine. And I was one, and I said, yo, Drew, whoa, babe, not the time. Right? Not the time. First guy, not the time. And then Deshaun posts what he posts, and you're not we can't be critical of that. That's not even an opinion. That ain't an opinion piece. He didn't post his opinion. So, I mean, that's my issue. You can't get away with that. We need to hold players accountable. If we're going to hold one accountable, we hold everybody accountable. Right? Especially for opinions, we shouldn't hold anybody accountable, really, because it's just your opinion. We're allowed to disagree with it, right? But the crucify, I don't agree with. But for posting Hitler stuff, not the guy you want to. Not the guy you want to spread the news on. I think one of the biggest mass murderers of all time. And he's even getting a post. I don't care what it was about. I don't care. He's like, I don't want him cut. Guys, you understand this? I don't want him cut. I don't think he deserves to be cut. Guys make mistakes. Guys do stupid shit, right? We're all human beings. I don't think he deserves to be cut. The rush to defense is what my whole issue was. Yeah, calm down. You don't get to defend him like he's your kid. We don't want him cut. We're just saying, whoa, you can't say that. That's it. It's over, right? I think he should be fined, and I think he will be, right? And then we move on from there. But I mean, I know people are saying they think he's going to get cut. I don't see that happening. I don't see him getting cut for this. It was a poor lack of judgment, right? I mean, it happens, right? I mean, we can all say that. Lack of judgment, mistake. Listen, life's all about responses. You know what I mean? So you make up for it whatever way you can. And I'm good with it. It's just some Eagles fans that just can never see through the green Kool-Aid that they're swimming in. You know what I mean? Where it's Sean. Whoa. That's Hitler, bro. I'm not laughing about Hitler. I'm just, you understand my point. They put Ted FX apology a joke. I mean, they all are, but I don't care about that. It's but you just can't. There's certain guys steer away from. That's all. Certain guys steer away from. They're not good guys. We probably don't even want to associate with bad people, right? You got yourself in trouble before with associating with bad people, right? You got back on your feet in Washington, but I'm telling you, he wasn't cut because of Chip Kelly. Frank, you know what I mean? Can my Eagles guys around me support why he was cut? This was a Jeffrey Lurie knee-jerk reaction to news surfacing. Them articles came out before he was cut. They came out. He knee-jerk reacted to cutting him. Yeah. But it was Chip. It wasn't Chip, that one. LaShawn, Chip, fine. That one wasn't him. So, hopefully we can learn from this mistake. But it's Deshaun, man. I mean, these guys aren't perfect. I always say you ain't bringing these guys home for Thanksgiving dinner or Christmas dinner. We got to stop looking up to every word athletes say as it's gospel, right? Like I said, they're human beings on all levels, and they make mistakes. So, it's over with for me. But I can't. The dumbest thing is the post and then the defense. That's all.
Yusuf, dumbest thing of the week. I can't hear him.
Mute it.
Am I good now?
There you go.
All right. I'd probably say Deshaun Jackson as well. Tom really already made it clear. Otherwise, nothing else. But I do have some news that there might be a new Washington name really soon. And it'll probably be the Red Wolves.
They're going the Arkansas State route.
So,
Red Wolves?
Yes.
Ooh.
Can I ask you guys a question, please? What's wrong with the Indians and the Chiefs, etc., guys? What is really wrong with team nicknames? I don't understand. I understand a lot of stuff. I feel like I can wrap my head around a lot. I just don't get the insult. You know what I mean? Like, I'm Italian. Name something after an Italian. You think I got a problem with it? What's the problem?
So
they're not decent Indians?
So I'm Italian too. So if a team called the Wops, would you be offended by it?
So there wasn't Indians?
Well, Redskins is a racist term. Indians is not.
I'm talking about. I didn't even talk about the Redskins. I said the Indians, right?
Oh, there's nothing wrong with the name. There's nothing wrong with the name Indians, but like with the issue with Chief Wahoo, that was a caricature. The caricature is racist.
Then we can scrap it all. No, I'm just saying. Then we got to scrap it all. Then rip up all the pieces of paper around the house. We got to scrap it all and then start over then, because everything can be tied to something. I don't disagree with you, Frank, on that, because his facts are facts. But everything can get tied to something. Everything. I don't know. We're going off the rocker, not on A2 Day in this country. We're just off the rocker. It's just too much. Too much. We're going to get rid of everything. We're going to delete history. You know what deleting history does? It repeats itself then. So go delete all the bad shit. Run away from it. Act like it never happened. So what is that? That doesn't solve anything. That does this. Come on, people. We're better than this. Freaking 2020. It's unbelievable. We should be way more evolved, and we're evolved as like the weirdest evolution of all time. Like we're evolved into half the country, a bunch of weirdos. Like really, half the country I'm not hanging out with. Are you guys kidding me? Think about it. Think about it. You guys hanging out with half the country? No, there are a lot of weirdos out there. Right? We're gonna cut. No more Indians. There was Indians. Was it history? I could have swore I read about Indians in history. Did I miss it? I read about chiefs. Wasn't there chiefs? I thought there was chiefs. I could have sworn in the books I read. So we're just going to delete it all. For team names have been team names forever. We're deleting. Okay. This is slippery freaking slip. And we're going to get the red tails. It's like freaking
Red Wolves.
Red
tails. Does it matter? It's horrendous. It's horrendous. It's like the worst name of all time. Because now you're hamstrung with names. Ooh, be careful. Be careful. You know what I mean? And no team would be named the Wops, okay? No team would be named the Wops. I mean, that's like the most aggressive, obvious shot at us of all time. You know what I mean? It's just, are the Native Americans that up in arms? It's history.
I can't think of it at this point other than just it's 2020 type of thing. You know what I mean? Like, everybody's just wants to,
that's the way
you said. They just want to tie. Yeah, I mean, because if you would think about it, then let's take away the Cowboys. They tried to take away the Texas Rangers because that was a semblance of cops. Like, are we serious?
There's Rangers all over. There's park rangers all over the world. What are we doing? We're going to take
That's what I'm saying. So it's just
Cowboys.
I'm glad the Braves came out and said, all right, we're not going to change the name, but hey, maybe we'll get rid of the Tomahawk Chop. Okay, that makes a little bit of sense. But I'm glad they're at least going to keep the name. That works.
With the chop.
I'm with you. I think that's one of the cooler things about being a Braves fan and being at the stadium.
And why I hate them.
Exactly. Yeah. When they were going through their run in the 90s, you just hated hearing that chop.
Tom, I completely agree with you. I'm kind of in the same thing with Greg. I just don't even get worked up about. You're right for getting worked up. I'm not saying you're not, but like, it's freaking like it's stupid. Like we're surrounded by stupidity. It's like so nothing surprises me anymore. Like I look at a headline, I'm like, oh, they're changing this name of a bottle. Okay, like it's not going to change anything. Everything's so instead of it being proactive, it's reactive, and they feel like if they're changing something from 100 years ago, they're going to fix something tomorrow. No, that's not. It doesn't like one doesn't lead to the other, but just the way everything is, instead of making real change, they're going to delete what happened in the past. It's like no. What happened in the past led us to now. It's like I said, I completely agree with you. I don't get worked up about it anymore because it's a circle of stupidity. That's my whole thing. Like, I don't give a damn about the name. I think it's lazy. They think it's a way to fix it by being lazy.
I think and Ted's missing the point. You're worried about the wrong issues. Yeah. You're going to worry about team names changing what we're trying to change? Okay. You're just looking for the wrong things. And no, the day goes. I don't care. You understand this? You can name a team the day goes. It's not crushing me. It's not ruining me. All right? Have a little inner self-esteem that it's not going to ruin you. Because there's nobody thinking, you know how many freaking Italians are in the world? Knock it off. No team would ever be named the Dagos. It wouldn't even get that far. We're talking about chasing Indians. My God. I didn't know an Indian was a racial term. I didn't know just a chief. There were chiefs and Indians. I didn't know the chief was a racial thing. I didn't know that. I had no idea. Now they're pointing out shit. I had no clue. I just thought this was real life shit. Like there's chiefs, there's Indians, there's Cowboys, there's Rangers, there was wolves and shit. You know what I mean?
Bears, oh my.
It was Wild West. I didn't think anything was meant to be racial. That's what I'm saying. I just think we're pointing out the wrong issues, family. That's all I'm saying to the people. I'm saying don't delete history in general. Like we shouldn't. We should remember it so we don't make the same mistakes. That's it. That's all I got on it, really. I mean,
Frank, dumbest thing of the week
I don't really have a dumb thing of the week, but I actually found a good story to wrap this up. So this is the story of Mr. Shaun Weiss. You might know him as Goldberg from the Mighty Duck movies. There was a recent update from his GoFundMe after his arrest in January for being under the influence of meth. And
he GoFundMe?
He has a GoFundMe, and he is 170 plus days sober.
Mighty Ducks 4 is coming back. Let's go.
Jesus Christ, Craig.
Let's go. Goldberg gets out of rehab. Goldberg the goalie's back.
I'll make mine real easy. Dumbest thing of the week. It's the guy to the right-hand side of the screen. I can really go both guys on the right-hand side of the screen, but I'm going to go with the talker. Ralphie's performance on Sunday. I mean, this guy, I'll give you a little behind the scenes. I mean, this guy talks about he's a basketball guy. All right.
Great form.
Great form, no substance. When I tell you, from the second I arrived, this guy was about 0 for 90. No, I was going to say 0 for 190.
Yeah.
But I turned it on. Well, I turned it on when it counted, though. I turned it on when it counted, though. I did.
Did you win?
How many games did you win? One against Frank's team?
No, we won twice.
No disrespect, Frank, but
whatever.
Yeah, 2 wins, me and Chrome.
Against Frank's team?
Who came out on top, Ralph?
None of them were against us. There's only one team that beat us, and that was Team Pete.
And we already beat them before and then beat them again. So
on camera.
Yeah, I mean, teams, best of 3, somebody's going to take one. You're going to go, they're going to get one from you.
Especially after, it seemed like we were taking many vacations, the amount of bye weeks we were on. I mean, Tom and I were just.
It was the first time I shot from the diving board area, which I didn't shoot from before.
Struggled, yeah.
Well, of course I did.
We wanted a challenge, Ralph. It was too easy for it.
I mean, we're just Stroke City over here. As you and Pete are shooting with 2 hands.
Me and Pete? What? Come on, bro.
This kid.
Set shots over there?
Yusuf, brother, thanks for coming on with us tonight.
Yeah, Yusuf, thanks, man. Appreciate it, bud.
Appreciate you guys for having me. It was fun.
Absolutely.
We appreciate having you more than Wilson, who jumped out of here early. Well, great show tonight, fam. Stay tuned, obviously. Like, subscribe, get your alerts set, and you can get alerts for all the shows here at A2D Radio. Stay up with us. Everybody continue to be safe out there. We're one day closer to the start of sports.
Soccer tomorrow.
You don't care.
I'm just saying it's another sport starting, though.
Yeah. Is it? But yeah, soccer tomorrow. That's fun. Thanks, Yusuf, for coming on. For Greg, I can't even. It's so late right now. Are we still doing this? I feel like I left it all out there with the Sean, and then I found out about Indians and Chiefs. And now we're here. So I just left it all out there. But Ralph's head's down again. So we like to thank our doc, Dr. Paul Vidal, Specialized Physical Therapy LLC, Burlington, Cherry Hill, Princeton locations. Find on the web, specializedphysicaltherapy.com. For Tom Arnone, Ryan Brodo, that crumb Ralph Dellavecchio, Frank Vespe, Greg Milakovic, and Yusuf on with us tonight. And I'm sure we'll see him again, boys, soon. So stay tuned, fam. Set your alerts. Time to go to bed. If it ends. Never know. Sometimes you hit the button.